Who wants to be in America's slash fic with Abraham Lincoln?
Louisiana Purchase, that's a name.
You need to really get off my balls, okay? I'm gonna kick your ass.
Also, why was Michelangelo so stinky? Ew.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Spring 2023 Anime Review Non-Canon File. I am one of your three animated co-hosts, Tanner. Who's with me today?
The idle child, Colt.
Whoa.
I could never come up with a title for myself. Wenzel.
Yeah,
Fuck, that's crazy.
You really haven't had much practice, for sure.
No,
I
not
haven't.
6 years of it.
Yeah, definitely not.
Not almost
Bitch,
weekly.
you just said you're the idle child Colt.
because we're talking about
And
something
Tanner
with
said
idols.
he's the animated Tanner. Okay, I don't want to hear it.
I feel like mine was.
I
had
love
some
my
effort.
name.
I said, okay.
So you may be wondering, why is the mood down? And it's because we discovered Discord has a soundboard that doesn't pick up.
Yeah.
My mood isn't down. Tanner's mood's down.
I'm
yeah,
pissed.
my mood's down too because I wanted those funny sounds.
I'm pissed.
Royally.
We could have added our own sound effects.
Just imagine all the my name Jeffs and stuff we could have in here.
Oh my god, we could have added a My Name Jeff sound bit.
All right, just because we can't do it right now doesn't mean we can't do it in the future. We'll figure something out. I'm sure there's a way.
Probably
Discord.
not.
Fix
Okay.
it or I will kill myself.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
Colt always taking it the extra step, and that's why we love him here.
Gosh.
We love him
when
very
I do
much.
it when we play Overwatch, I'll giggle it off. But now when we're recording, okay.
Well, okay, but the thing is that those guys suck. Okay, so
All right. All right.
So we're here. We're talking about 6 different anime from this season. Should I go through down the list of what we're talking about today?
what season is it?
Just tell us
Spring.
what's the season. Spring.
I said that earlier.
I chew.
Did y'all
What did we watch?
did y'all watch the shows?
I'm making it up as we go.
Oh no.
I've already watched Jujutsu Kaisen season 2.
Oh, Wenzel has that insider knowledge.
The Boruto was really good. Wink.
No, it wasn't.
I thought it was funny when they didn't show a crucial fight in the manga
I
instead
thought
of
it
they
was
just
funny
panned
that
it
they
to
had
the
all those-
sky.
All those fucking dinosaurs for how many chapters?
No,
Fair,
that was
the
still
manga
I
looks
know.
pretty good.
Yeah,
The
I
know
manga
that-
for
that
that
was
is
the thing, but
fun, but
all
the
the different
animation was ass.
Yeah.
animation in Boruto has been ass for a hot minute.
I don't think it's gonna get better. It's just turned to absolute hell. I think it's Pirot, people behind the new
Perot?
Bleach. Perot, yeah, they're behind the
I
new
don't know.
Bleach.
I don't know if
so
that's
they're
what
putting
it's
their
called.
work.
I'm just assumed. But
I
yeah.
don't know. But anyways, none of us watched the anime. Well, no, I'm just kidding. All 3 of us watched every show we're talking about. So you're about to get up to the minute second. Some of us just finished a show on this list.
Yep.
So
Just
they're very
moments
fresh.
prior
Very
to
fresh.
recording. But here are the shows we're talking about today. Keep in mind, these all will be spoiler-filled reviews of
Spoilers.
episode 1.
Yes.
Spoilers.
So
And but one of them it's the spoiler of the first episode of their new season, but
yes,
we will be covering spoilers for that show entirely because it already has season 1 and 2 out
yes.
Yeah.
and it's been years. So
Well,
yes.
not necessarily full spoilers, but we're just going to be talking in the sense that you know
we'll
what
mention
happened. in
yeah,
the
we'll
first
mention
two.
some
Yeah.
things and just, spoilers, just spoilers.
Here are the shows we'll be discussing today. And actually, the order we'll be discussing them in. And I plan on putting in timestamps for you to make it even easier for you to skip to your favorite show or skip shows that you don't want to hear about yet. So here's what we're talking. We're talking Skip and Loafer.
Yes.
We're talking Mashle.
Yes.
We're talking Hell's Paradise.
Yeah.
We're talking Heavenly Delusion.
Yeah.
We're talking Demon Slayer Season 3.
Oh yeah.
And we're talking Oshi no Ko.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Wenzel got a little too excited for
Yeah.
that one.
So that's the order we'll be talking about them in. Again, I'm going to try my hardest to put timestamps so you can skip around, because I know you may want to hear our thoughts on the first episode of shows, but you may not want to listen to the Demon Slayer talk because you may be like Wenzel and maybe 4 years behind the times and
Yep.
not watch Demon Slayer till now. And that's
Even
okay.
though he watched the first episode when the first
When we
aired.
did that anime episode, never watched it again up until early last year when I just spent like a whole day watching Demon Slayer season 1 and 2 and then the movie. So
Did we really cover episode 1 of Demon Slayer on one of
Yeah.
these?
We did.
yeah, we did.
Damn.
We even talked about it at the end of the year show, saying it like is one of the best things of the year.
Yeah.
See, I distinctly I remember that, but I don't remember talking about episode 1 like for one of these anime.
Are we a joke to you?
Thanks.
Do you not love us?
I
Do you
I
fucking hate
was
us?
probably on that fucking episode, so I just
You
don't
were.
remember it. Okay.
You're a hateful piece of shit.
Whoa.
So first, again, spoilers ahead for episode 1's only. We will not be getting into spoilers we're not going to be talking about manga spoilers for any of these, just solely from the perspective of people that watch the first episode of each of these anime. I have to take my glasses
Yes.
off. They're messing with me.
My
Fuck
glasses are some reason making the words easier to see, and it's giving me a headache.
No, I don't know what it is. It's like, I don't know. Having glass. I always
Sounds
said,
like you don't have a good prescription.
oh, I don't,
Mm.
because I'm using my brother's. I
Ah,
don't have an actual prescription for glasses.
sounds
but I'm-
like you might need to get one.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I don't have an actual prescription for glasses.
You're joking, right?
No, I swear on
It's a
everything.
bit. This is
No,
a bit.
no, I swear.
Are you sure?
I swear.
Colt, am I being pulled right now? Am I being fucked with?
Nah, this is believable. I can.
I
see
swear.
Tanner
I swear.
doing
I'll get my
this.
mom on the show. I'll
Jesus
get
Christ.
Riley in here to confirm it. I have never been to an eye doctor. Here,
How are you driving?
here because I'm wearing glasses.
Hold
It's
on.
not even
We
yours.
can't even talk about the fucking anime now.
Here's the timeline of events. When I got my license when I was 16, they test your eyes before you take your driver's test, and one of my eyes was 20/25 vision, and one of my eyes was 20/30 vision.
Damn, you can see in the future. You're good. You don't need glasses.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But anyways, they were like, "Hey, you may want to think about getting glasses." Well, fast forward to when I'm 22. And I sat in the back of a college lecture classroom, and I'm like, I can't see fucking shit. Keep in mind, this was after my nursing school stint.
Oh my god.
So I adopted, and just one day out of the blue, because my brother had gotten a couple of pairs of glasses in the mail. This is when I still lived at home. Got a couple of pairs of glasses in the mail, and just for fun, I put one on. I'm like, oh my god, I can see. And I think Colt, or Wenzel, you were probably in the car too. We were in the car, and I said, "Oh my god, did y'all know there was cracks in the road?"
Yeah, we were both in there.
Yeah. So that happened, and here I am, 27. I've still never been to the doctor. I know my brother's prescription, and it's got to be pretty close to mine. So,
Are you pulling my dick right now?
dude, I
You need to
swear,
go to the eye doctor.
I
Are you
swear-
are you pulling? Are you just?
I
tugging
swear
me
on
right now?
everything. I swear on everything.
That is so.
It's
I'm gonna
something
put this,
Tanner would do.
No, I'm gonna put this so nice. I'm gonna put this so nice. That's so fucking stupid. No, I'm sorry. No, I can't. What?
I can't believe y'all. Did y'all really not know that?
No. I just knew you wore glasses and that you can't see, even though you need them.
Y'all just thought it was normal that one day I came in wearing glasses.
You don't
I-
wear your glasses a lot. You should
I
be
wear my
wearing
glasses
them.
all the time.
Tanner wears his glasses all the time, which what makes me really fucking upset right now.
Although I don't wear my glasses at work.
Or when you're playing
Oh
video
my
games.
god! God!
No, I sometimes wear them when I'm playing games. Most of the time, I wear them playing games.
Of course we did. Of course we didn't know that because we assumed that you did what any reasonable person would do and go to a doctor, get a prescription, and have glasses that match your eyes.
Nope.
That's pretty gangster.
I really thought y'all knew that.
No.
Yeah, no, I swear on everything. These are not my prescription. And my eyes have only gotten worse.
We need to talk about the anime.
No, hold on. Tanner, I'm serious. You need to go make an appointment with the eye doctor. Get your own glasses because if you keep using those glasses, they're gonna mess up your eyes.
Wenzel, maybe on the 35th of Neverwary.
Oh, pwned. He's gonna go blind.
No, Cole, I'm not pwned. You need to shut the fuck up and not.
I'm not pwned. I'm not owned.
No, but I said all that to say, I am thinking about getting LASIK.
Okay, well, never mind then.
I can't believe y'all did. I swear I thought I had told y'all that years ago.
Nope.
Oh, man. All right, so skipping Loafer, huh?
Yeah. Fuck. Who wants to go over what this is about? Summaries.
I can talk about it.
Okay.
I like Skipping Loafer. It was the show I put on there. So Skipping Loafer is like a typical little slice of life. It starts with our main character, one of our main characters, Mitsumi Irakura, who is from the small town in, I believe, Ishikawa, and she moves to Tokyo to join this apparently pretty prestigious high school. And she has like the spirit of like, oh, I want to be the best. I have my whole life planned out. This is how I'm going to die. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do after I retire, blah, 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 blah. And like immediately gets thrown to shit because she like gets sick on the way to school because she doesn't realize how trains work in Japan. And she gets saved by, I assume, our male lead, Sasuke or Sasuke? Shima. They're just called Shima. I actually didn't even know that this was their first name. So we'll just say Shima. And it just kind of goes from there. They, it very much gives me like Horimiya vibes, except the role reversal between the guy and the girl.
Yeah, it seems very, very nice slice of life, very lovey-dovey. We're going to see a beautiful relationship flourish throughout the rest of this little show. It's very cute, and the animation style is so good. It looks so simple, but it's very, very fluid.
Yes, it looks really good. And like, it's so interesting, too, because all the characters have, like, very distinct facial features, too. Like our two characters, like their faces in the show don't look anything alike. They're drawn in two completely different styles. Whereas in Horimiya, they are kind of samey. They just have like different color hair, which is like general for your slice of life shows that have like a bigger cast. And I imagine we'll get that further into the show. We'll expand on our cast. You can even see that in the OP. But it for now just looks like simple show of a small town girl living her big city dreams.
Basically, yeah. She sorry, I haven't said anything because I've just been so fucking distracted by the fact that Tanner has been wearing his brother's glasses for years now.
Yeah, 5.5 years.
I'm gonna try to get past this. So I'm gonna try to talk about this show. So it's very nice, very sweet little slice of life. Yeah, this she actually, so what happens in the beginning is that she actually, because it's Tokyo, she's from the countryside. It's big, it's a big city, and the trains, she kind of forgot her way around. So at some point she just kind of sits not in the corner, but she sits staring at the wall because, like Tanner said, she went to the bathroom, threw up, came back out, and just kind of sat staring at the wall. And she's a very smart girl. Like Tanner said, like has her whole life planned out, is ready, like, worked really hard to get this into this high school and everything. But like she doesn't know how to adjust to city life or being social in such a bigger, more just expansive setting like Tokyo. And that's also how we meet our male lead, where he finds her and he's like, something wrong, and immediately gets terrified of her because she doesn't know how to talk to people. And it's really funny too, because in that moment she's like, have I forgotten how to talk to people? And she just says,
in her city, her middle school is a class of 8.
yeah, so small. So like it kind of, you kind of understand it, you know. And she's also in this city too. She's living with her aunt, I believe, right? Yeah. And
I think it's her aunt. I honestly don't know if it's her aunt or just a family friend.
I can't remember because we also just watched Suzume, and the main character lives with her aunt.
It's
with her
same,
aunt.
Yeah, it's the same kind of. I think it is though, and because she does have quite of a big family too. There's actually a point in there where she won't make it to the she's gonna be late for the ceremony for the new classes, and in that moment she says sorry to all of her not her classmates, to all of her family, including her 2 cats and dog, I believe.
Yeah.
Which the cats and dogs look so cute.
They look so fucking cute. They have like a custom style to them that's not related to any other style.
Yeah, not anywhere else in the show.
Well, I will say, like, the cats and dogs and the girl, their faces kind of share that same kind of like simple style. So like the show, it all like they said, some of the characters with their faces are drawn differently, but it all meshes together.
Yeah,
which I think is what really is like the charm to this too, is like the animation, the art styles. It's so fluid, so beautiful. There's like it feels like, I don't want to say cinematic, but it has that quality there, especially with the OP, because the ending, there's a dance segment between her and the male lead character. And it's really nice. She has a dress and he has like just regular like casual clothes on, and like everything just flows really nicely. Yeah, and then also too, whenever she views Shima, she views herself as a little duckling and him as a mama duck.
yeah, he's like Mama Goose. It's very funny. And also too, like, because it's at the end of the episode, we get like Shima hanging out with his friends, because like they all go to different high schools, and they're like, "Oh, Shima, why are you in such a good mood?" It very much seems like Shima, prior to meeting Misumi, was like too cool for school, but like also kept up his grades. But now he's like, "Oh, I have to get serious. I have to enjoy my time in high school to the fullest." And it's like, that's the good shit. That's what makes a good rom-com slice of life.
Yeah, because he's found his reason, basically. Because at first, in the very beginning, everybody's getting ready to go to school. Everybody's getting nice and pampered. But he's still sitting in bed. He looks at his phone, throws it to the side, and just goes back to sleep, which I feel the vibes. But then, whenever he meets this girl and her dedication, Mitsumi, like her drive to get to school, he starts to like, there's a moment where she's running and she takes off her shoes and starts running even faster as sounds like she's going to die. He sees her and just follows her.
Yep.
Like it's like a really like a moment where like, oh yeah, like this is he sees his drive now. His attachment is to this girl. And I think that's like really, really sweet.
This is also done by PA Works, which just in the last couple of years, they've done Appare Ranman. They've done Ya Boy Kong Ming, which was in my opinion, one of the sleeper hits of last year. They also done the Aquatope on White Sand, which I believe, if you remember correctly, that's the show that Patrick watched the wrong episode to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Second episode.
In one of our summer 2021 anime reviews. So PA Works has a really good track record, and if you like any of those shows like animation style, you'll like this because it's very similar. I would actually say Skip and Loafer looks a little more fluid than even something as recent as Your Boy Kong Ming. So I would definitely, if for nothing else, if slice of life rom-com stuff isn't your cup of tea, I don't think you're going to enjoy this, because I mean that is what this show is. Definitely low stakes slice of life. I mean, they're fucking high schoolers. But if you know, if sometimes you can go either way on the genre, like maybe if you enjoyed a Horimiya or something, more recent, I'd say give it a shot because it seems like it's going to be just a nice little comforting, relaxing show, which, as we will get on to in a minute, we need this season.
Yeah.
By a minute, it's gonna be a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a few minutes, but
I would definitely put Skip and Loafer in the upper tier just based off the first episode of like slice of life rom-com. In my opinion, I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like
there's some
so
certain
fun.
charm to it.
There's such a
like
big
I'm not
charm.
a slice of life person because when I watch it, it makes me go into a fucking like when's it my turn to be happy headspace. And I'm also getting that, but it's also really fun. And I know I can't watch it.
I mean, I get like
I definitely feel that though.
Yeah, I get that, but
like
I just
if I would have watched Horimiya while I was single during COVID, I would have went into a deep spiraling depression. So I totally
Jesus Christ.
totally
Can nobody
understand.
watch anything nice?
No.
I fucking finished Flowers of Evil, the manga, the other day. Or not the other day, it was a few months ago at this point. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. It's not a normal love story by any means. It is furthest from it, but it still sent me into a weird state that I've never felt before. It felt
So what we're
terrible.
saying is check out Skip and Loafer.
Yeah, check out Skip and Loafer.
Skip and Loafer. I get some nice vibes from it.
Yeah.
So yeah, check it out.
Also seems like a perfect, like it seems like, I'm sure we'll probably go through the whole like first semester or whatever in this season, but definitely this opening episode has a very good spring vibe to it too. I don't know what it is.
Well, it starts in spring as well.
Yeah, but it feels, if I associated this show with the color in my mind, it's spring green.
Well,
Mine's pink.
That's crazy that they did that on purpose.
Wenzel, can I talk to you in the corner? I'm
yeah,
actually
sure.
wearing your fucking prescription.
What?
So anybody here gonna keep up with this?
I don't think it's going to be a week to week thing, but I can definitely see myself, like, if I have like a downtime on a Saturday, being like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and watch a couple episodes of Skip and Loafer. I would like to have finished it by the end of the year.
Yeah, I will say there's some slice of life that we covered here on our show where I'm like, yeah, I liked it. I might keep up with it. But like I don't really feel like putting in the backlog. So, but Skip and Loafer, I feel like will be on the backlog for me. So that means that I will go back and basically probably binge it.
It's for me personally, I'm not gonna go back to it, but I highly recommend it if you're into this kind of stuff.
Yep, and it is on Crunchyroll.
Yep,
for your way to watch it. Y'all ready? I'm ready to move on to show number 2.
Yay!
Yeah.
Up next.
Okay, let's calm down, Colt. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
yeah, a little too excited.
You know what? Let's take a moment of silence.
But up next,
that was not long enough.
Mashle, Magic and Muscles.
Mashed potatoes.
I'm trying to think of like how to properly convey the plot, but we don't really get the plot in the first episode until the very
end. It's pretty simple.
I got this.
Okay, go for it.
All right. In a world where there's magic.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
I'm in.
Okay. In this universe,
there's magic.
There were humans who were non-magical, but over time, magic has become the norm to where now there's barely any just normal, regular humans anymore. Kind of like the universe in My Hero. And so magic is part of the norm, and it's just like part of society and everyday life. And we get introduced to our main character, Mash Bernadette, I think is his last name. Anyway, Mash, obviously the name of the show is Mashle. He's being
not
raised...
related to the TV show MASH, by the way.
That is true. It's not related to that. Maybe. We don't know yet.
Oh shit, you're right.
That is true. We technically don't know.
he's being raised by his adoptive father, who can do magic, but Mash can't. And that's where things kind of take a different turn, because you think, oh, well, he doesn't do magic, so that kind of puts him at a disadvantage. Well, not necessarily, because we get scenes of him working out in the woods, and he is lifting weights normal humans couldn't lift. Basically, he is insane. The animals are disturbed by it,
but he's not like lifting weights normal humans can't lift it. He's also doing it in a way that it's beast mode, essentially.
It's beast. Yeah, he's going beast mode. And in this too, humans who can't do magic are also discriminated against and basically seen as lower, like shouldn't be allowed to live, basically. And that's where him and his father get compromised. But there is opportunity that to basically help to stop this discrimination and basically being able to live normally and peacefully in this world. He will join this magic academy, rise through the ranks, and become basically the chosen one. Somebody who's chosen, they literally mention God, somebody who becomes a chosen one by God, which basically means a lot of money, gets to make the rules, changes how society views certain things. It's basically like that. And that's Mash's kind of goal. And he wants to do that using his strength rather than magic, because he can't do that. And that's basically the synopsis.
In simpler terms, the too long didn't read is, imagine if they took Saitama from One Punch Man and put him in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Very like, our Mash is very like, I don't want to say dry, but like very dry humor, I guess, like unintentionally funny, because this show is hilarious.
Yeah,
like if this first episode is the comedy in this first episode reminds me of Bobobo, which is like the highest compliment I can give to any comedy in an anime. And it, from what I've heard, the manga is amazing. I actually believe it's in its final arc right now.
Yeah,
so,
it's very close to the end.
Yeah.
But the manga is amazing. So if they can keep up like the quality of like good jokes, the animation is, I mean, nothing mind melting, but it's fine for what kind of show it is. It's good. It looks good. It's a good looking show. It's just, if you're coming into this,
there's a strange style to it. It's not strange. It's the lines are heavier.
Yeah,
I really like that about it.
This is done from A1 Pictures, who has done a shit ton of stuff, but like just a few big things they've done. They did Darling in the Franxx.
Oh yeah.
They did Kaguya-sama Love is War. They did 86, and even just this year they did the Nier Automata show, and they're also doing the Solo Leveling adaptation. So
they got a great track record.
Yeah, wow. They have a really good track record. With stuff, they also did Your Lie in April, which is one of the best fucking shows of all time. Any genre. But so if you're going into this expecting like, oh man, and maybe we do get that with the magic fights, but this first episode is very much just world building, as most first episodes are.
I mean, that's the thing, is from what I've heard, the fights are great.
Yeah.
And hysterical. Yeah. Like, and also too, it adapts the style too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
perfectly, basically.
Perfectly done. And like I said, the humor, I feel like some of the humor in the show, I feel like doesn't work as well. Probably wouldn't work as well in the manga, because they seem like very much like sound cue bits. So I would have to like read the first couple chapters of the manga and compare it to this first episode. But I think this is like an excellent, like, I feel like this show is going to be a show where if you want somebody to get into anime, you're going to point them towards this, because it's kind of a property, not really a property, but it's an idea people are familiar with for the most part. The kid, enrolls in a magic school. But what if that kid was just juiced to the fucking gills and couldn't do magic?
and overpowered. But so far though, because you say that in that very simple blurb earlier about him being similar to Saitama from One Punch Man, we do from this first part, we do see is like, oh my god, this kid's already super powerful. Like, But from what I understand is like kind of take that like carefully, because from what people have said, he's not necessarily like exactly Saitama from One Punch Man. So that kind of makes me think it's like, okay, well, or what will be this kid's limits if he has any?
Yeah, I guess I
yeah.
meant like Saitama just more from the physicality standpoint, where
well, no, you're not wrong, because that's what I hear. Like that's literally like what I hear from people say. Like that's what they say, and like I understand that because he does some mad shit in here. Like,
I mean, just in this first episode, he catches a fucking spell and dribbles it like a soccer ball,
which was like the funniest freaking thing. Like, I laughed so hard seeing that. That was like my favorite part. Like him just like taking it and just like, look at those dribbling skills.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, also like he rips the same guard's shirt off twice. Such a good fucking bit because he like spills his cream because it's really good because Mash is also super apologetic. So anytime somebody even remotely gets onto him, he's like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry." And even the old guy, his dad, is like, "I can't stay mad at you." Yeah, he was like, "I expected so much worse from a teenager," and he was like, "You're a godsend."
He's so well tempered.
His dad and him are so funny, and I love them.
It's a great dynamic.
And like I will say, like there was an emotional part too. Whenever his so in this we get some pretty heavy stuff. His dad, again, he can use magic, but he was ostracized because the family that comes from is like very prestigious, but his magic wasn't as strong as the rest of the family, so they kind of viewed him as nothing. And then it got to the point to where he almost committed suicide.
Yeah,
and until he found Mash abandoned as a baby. And so he just decided to raise him, and it's so nice. And then whenever he's almost like the police. So there's a part in there where the police are trying to find them because again, they don't give you people who don't have marks. Everybody who does magic has marks on their face. If they don't do magic, then they kind of like they discriminate against them. So they're hunting him, and they're prepared to kill this old man and imprison this boy. And the father's like screaming to Mash like run, get out of here. It's very, very well done voice acting wise as well. I really like that. But like back to funny shit though. Like every time he would do something, the father is just like, "Oh my god, like such a good boy."
Yeah,
and like he's stupid.
Yeah, Mash is very much like no thoughts, just muscle. Like, and I'm sure we'll see like better examples of that as the show goes on. But one thing Wenzel was going on is this show can like balance between like the serious emotional hit of like, oh, his adoptive dad almost kills himself and his adoptive dad getting the shit beaten out of him to protect himself, to even during the fight scene, like Mash catching the spell and dribbling it like a soccer ball, and they're like, "Oh my god, so cool!" So it's a very good balancing act between serious moments and funny stuff. And I realize that will not be everybody's cup of tea because people usually want one or the other in any given show. But I think this show does it better than most examples I've seen. Again, I keep wanting to compare it to Bobobo, just with the humor and like because the thing they do when a character has like a crazy over the top reaction is like this super hyper stylized single shot of their face, which again reminds me of Bobobo so much. And that's the best compliment I can give to an anime is comparing it to Bobobo because it's one of my favorite shows ever. But I can see where this won't be everybody's cup of tea. Personally, for me, I'm fucking in it.
Yeah, it's my cup of tea.
Yeah, it is. I think all three of our cup of tea, but especially, whatever.
Especially Colt because he loves Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Colt. No.
But also, if you've been somebody that's been disenfranchised by Harry Potter due to their extremely hateful and sinister and evil creator, maybe this will kind of feel, because this is kind of like Harry Potter parody. Like, it's making fun of magic.
Yeah.
Is what this show is. And I think it's going to do I forget how new it is. The manga didn't start till 2020.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
this
I remember
whole
that.
thing has had
2018 or something like that.
this whole show has had its run essentially like during like it got super popular during lockdown. Yeah, it been serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump magazine since January 2020.
Sheesh.
Yeah, and it's already 16 volumes as of April 2023.
Damn, putting in that work.
Yeah, I mean, God, that has to be weekly.
Yeah,
like
it is.
without missing any. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to keep up with it. I think Mashle will be a week to week for me, just because it seems like something. It seems like something I can put on, and honestly, Riley will like to watch. So that's what I'm hoping for. Is like this will be her like anime gateway drug, and I'm really hoping that she'll get into this and be like, you know what?
Watch Evangelion.
Let's go see Evangelion again.
I don't know. I was going to say Evangelion 3.1 plus 1.1. That was her gateway drug. Did she understand it? No.
No.
Did she get kind of
Did
disturbed
she
by
like
it?
it? Not really.
No. Was she disturbed by it? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did she come out of the theater saying, "What the fuck did we just watch for 3 hours?" Absolutely.
Yes.
Did she say, "I can't pick what movie we watch next year for my birthday"? Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But
did we try to explain it to what was happening and it just didn't work? Yeah.
Did she lean over to me and ask me why Shinji was crying so much? Yes. Could I answer her? No.
Wow, because Tanner was crying.
Yeah.
I was crying at the same time. But yeah, so I'm super excited for Mashle. This had been probably my most anticipated show of the season, new show of the season, but that has since changed. But this is still going in the weekly lineup.
Yeah, I was very okay.
Let's both talk at the same time. I think it'd be
Okay.
quicker.
So
I thought it was
for me,
I
I
can't
was
do
very
this. My
excited
brain
for
would
this.
fucking explode.
I was ready to do this.
Yeah, I was about to say, wow, my brain is going to explode.
You go first.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go first.
No, why?
No, you.
What you don't know is Colt and Wenzel are sitting right by each other, giggling.
Yeah.
No, seriously, you go first.
All right, I'll go. For me, Mashle, I heard the manga was funny, and I didn't really expect anything too great from the anime, just because I thought it'd just be another like fun comedy thing, with no like special animation. But I was a little wrong. I enjoyed this fairly well, and the premise and the comedy in it was so good that I don't know if I'll keep up with the anime. But I'm thinking I might start reading it in the Shonen Jump app because I really found it entertaining.
Wow, that's actually the complete opposite for me. Because I was gonna say so I've been hearing good things about the manga, and I was like, okay. But then I heard about the anime. I'm like, oh, well, I'm gonna watch the anime then. And then after seeing it, but I was like, well, I don't know how much I really expect from it because it looks like. It seems fun. It looks very like, okay, it could be very just like generic or whatever. Cause shonen app or not shonen app, shonen manga with, overpowered, protagonists and funny bits, that's not too uncommon, but, after watching this, I'm very interested. So I might just keep up with the anime and just not really touch the manga. It was really it was the soccer dribbling that sold me. Like I cannot stress how fucking funny that was. I don't know why.
Yeah, Colt. I mean, obviously Colt is like the huge manga reader of the group. So like, I'm interested that this show was the one that was like, you know what, I'm going to read the manga because I feel like this works so much better visually as animation.
Well,
Just
I don't
purely
know because there's been some anime I've watched where I loved it so much I was like, I have to read the manga now and keep up with both. That's been me. I don't know about Colt, but I kind of get it. But you can explain yourself, Colt.
For me, it's not so much that one's better than the other. It's more so time. I've got so many things I want to do. I can read way quicker than I can watch a 20-minute thing. Like I can read through like 10 chapters in 10 minutes. So we're good.
Wow.
I don't believe that.
But I think we all give Mashle our stamp of approval one way or another.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I want to try the cream puff thing.
Oh man, those cream puffs did
Oh,
look good.
those the cream puffs
I
did
will
look
say
good,
the cream puffs were maybe the best animated thing in the show.
Oh my god! Okay, actually, the ending where they did the dance,
Yeah.
chocolate, that was great.
Yeah, Cream Puff Funk is the English name of that song.
Oh god, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Gee.
Yeah, it's good. I'm just going to say this, not a spoiler for any of the shows. Openings this season, all fucking bangers.
Truth.
Yeah, true.
All right, are we ready for our next show?
Sir, yes, sir.
All right, up next, probably a lot of people's most anticipated show of the season, probably one of the most anticipated shows of the whole year. We have Hell's Paradise, Jiko Kuraku. I probably butchered that, but you know.
You got it pretty
it's-
good.
No,
Okay.
it's G Goku Raku.
Okay. If you don't know, Hell's Paradise, extremely popular manga of the last couple of years. And it ended a couple of years ago.
No,
But-
it ended very recently.
No, it ended recently.
Did it?
Like last year.
Oh, I thought it ended in 21. Yeah, it ended in 2021.
Okay. When you said couple, like, I was thinking you're like 2018.
No, it
Well,
started in 20. It had a 3-year run. It went from January 22nd, 2018 to January
Okay.
25th, 2021.
Okay, no, if Tanner says a couple means two. Tanner's right, couple. That's still recent, but that's what couple means too.
Yeah, please don't make fun of me, Cole. I'm trying.
I also
Okay.
think couple can mean.
Nope.
Couple
Gonna go
cannot
and say
mean
no.
anything but two.
It cannot mean anything but
I've-
two.
Heard it used in other situations.
Then they're wrong too.
Yeah, they're wrong.
Because my dad did the same thing the other day, and I literally said to you, that's 10. That's 10. Not a couple, that's 10.
10 is not a couple.
That's not
I
a couple.
would not use it in that situation though.
Okay,
Okay,
but
name a situation you
2018
would use it in.
3 to 4.
That's a few.
That's a few.
Oh my god!
You say that's
you're
a
so
few.
fucking. Go wear your reading glasses that are not even your prescription.
If 4 people were involved in a relationship together, would you call the 4 of them collectively a couple?
You would not call them a couple.
I'd call them a polycule.
So not a couple.
Yeah, because it's a very specific thing. They're a polycule.
Okay.
Okay, but a couple, when you refer to a couple, that also means two in relationships.
What if you saw a 4 dogs running down the road?
Do you
what
call
would
them a
you-
couple of dogs?
How many? You wouldn't say, look at those couple of dogs. You would say, man, that's a lot of dogs.
Or that? Look at those 4 dogs.
I'd
Yeah.
start chasing them. I wouldn't say anything.
Or how many dogs was that? I don't know, a few.
Yeah.
You would say a couple or 3 or 4. A couple cannot mean anything else. That's like when you say a century can only refer to 100 years.
Oh yeah. But still, I'd probably
What do
say
you
a couple
mean? Well,
dogs.
yeah.
I'll probably say a couple dogs because it doesn't matter in that situation because I'm just talking about a few dogs go down the street. But if it's like a very specific thing,
few dogs.
listen,
You
listen,
just
listen,
ruined the
listen,
point.
No,
listen,
no, no,
listen,
no.
listen,
You're the
listen,
one
let
that
me
no.
explain.
You're the one that called
Let me
Tanner out
explain.
on this. You
Let
called
me
Tanner out on
explain.
this, and you're
Let me
wrong.
explain. Let me explain. All right. If it was a police situation where those dogs murdered someone, I'd say there were 4 dogs. But if it's like a nonchalant thing that doesn't matter, I'll say sure it was a couple dogs.
God, your brain.
Because
Colt, we
like
gotta-
me remembering the
I
amount doesn't
disagree.
really fucking matter.
Well, I mean,
Not
no, but
unless those dogs
that's not the
attack
basis of
us.
the argument.
Yeah, that's not the basis of the argument.
Okay, anyways, Hell's Paradise. Let's see. So, I mean, again, like I said, one of the most anticipated shows of the season, probably one of the most anticipated shows of the whole year. Super successful, super popular manga. Mappa is doing the anime adaptation, so it already has that extra bit of hype around it. But essentially, just to give like a basic overview, is our main character, Gabimaru, is on... Is he technically on death row, or is he just being
He's on-
executed?
No, if you're going to be executed, that means you're on death row.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't
He's an
know if it was just
assassin.
for fun.
No, you're.
Okay, so Gabimaru is about to be executed. He's on death row. They try to kill him in all these ways, and they just can't kill him because he's had like this insane ninja training. And eventually, they try to get an executioner to kill him, and he's like, "Oh wait, I don't want to die." So they fight a little bit, but then it goes on to like, okay, we won't kill you, but you have to go to this island and get the elixir for immortality for the Shogun.
Yeah, that's the first episode, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean the first episode is definitely laying the groundwork for the show.
Yeah, but I mean, after that, it pops off. Like second episode, I know what happens. It just pops off from there. Like,
has anybody read it?
I've read all of it.
I read the first 2 volumes.
Okay.
Which, by the way, if you want to see my review of the first 2 volumes, they're not spoiler heavy or anything. I just cover some base stuff about it and what I thought. You can go to my Bookstagram at Wenzel Banters to check that out if you want to.
Hey, we'll link it in the description.
I will say, as someone that's read all the manga, with the first episode, there was a few moments where I was disappointed because I felt like the art in the manga was just way better than what we got in the animation. Specifically, whenever he was killing all those people, and whenever he goes in Ninpo, because when he goes in Ninpo in the manga, it's fucking peak art right there.
Yeah, I will say, like, don't get me wrong, this anime is gonna pop off, I believe.
Oh,
I do think that they kind of took some elements away from us, like Colt said, with like him like some of the gruesomeness, and also too the ninjutsu. Now, to be fair, there is a lot of gruesome stuff in here, so I guess content warning for that. Basically,
murder, beheading, all the bads.
Fire being burned.
Yeah, all that's in the first episode.
Yeah. But it's but for the most part, I mean, they capture the essence of that first chapter right in there in the first episode. So,
and we haven't even seen the best characters yet.
That is true. Well, I don't know. I really Gabimaru, just even from the first 2 volumes that I've read and from this episode, Gabimaru and Sagiri are like probably my 2 favorite. Gabimaru, so it's revealed, so the entire time he's being executed, like Tanner said, he had like some really good ninja training, and it's like, oh man, why can't I die? I just want to die. But Sagiri, because she's there to interview him, she learns and finds out that, you know, he actually doesn't want to die. He's been resisting the entire time. And the reason being is that he's a wife guy. He's a
hardcore wife guy. He just like me.
I mean, like, he loves his wife, and I think that's also too what really like set this apart from other well, it's not shonen, because what is
seinen?
Yeah, it's seinen. But usually people include it. I've said this in my review. People include it in the kind of realm of the horror action manga, being Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Hell's Paradise as being the top 4 like horror action. I think it's like called I think I said in my review, I had to look this up, what, like, instead of like what's above a trifecta, and it's like a superfecta, something like that.
Well, this Hell's Paradise, Chainsaw Man, and Jujutsu Kaisen are also pretty commonly referred to as the dark trio. Like, it's supposed to, or like the dark big 3, because like they're obviously darker than the traditional shonen big 3, and obviously these aren't all shonen, but people just refer to those 3 manga as like, these are the 3 things you need to read, and I guess now watch, to really just get where the anime industry is now.
Yeah. And yeah, but yeah, he it's very sweet, very lovable, very like endearing, because I mean, he's a death row criminal being thrown into a battle royale between a bunch of other criminals and an island that wants to kill them, because right off the bat too, we learn about obviously the name of the manga is Hell's Paradise. They have found what they believe to be the promised land or heaven, but it is not.
It's anything but.
It's anything but, because people who have went there have never returned except for their bodies, which are covered and have grown flowers out of them. So, it's extremely, extremely dangerous, and it's really fascinating too. It's also beyond the Ryukyu Islands, so it's far. But yeah, it's so. I can't say too much because there's so much stuff after the first episode that is, like I said, I've learned. It's so fascinating. It's so cool, especially with the action, and then like just the historical stuff too. Sagiri, she is from a clan of executioners and sword testers. That's really interesting as well. She's the only one who could execute Gabimaru. And we see that in there, showing her skill. Yeah, it's a good first episode, and I think it's only gonna pop off from there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll be keeping up with it purely because I really like the manga and I want to see how they do it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'll definitely be keeping up with it just because, like, again, I mean, honestly, it's a case of FOMO. I don't want to miss out on it. Like, it's kind of why I read Chainsaw Man before the anime came out, and like Jujutsu Kaisen was totally on accident on my part. But it's definitely like something I want to be a part of. Like, it's because I think this show has a lot of potential to get pretty popular in the West. So I would like to, I want to be included in the jokes, but also it just legitimately looks really good, and I have been interested in reading it. But once the show got announced, I was like, I'll watch the anime.
Well, now I will say this: I will probably read it as well as watch the anime, just because I'm so invested in the story. I don't think I can hold off on it, and also too, I want to talk about it with Colt since he's finished it. So I will probably keep up with both. But yeah,
how long is it, Colt?
13 volumes.
So
not that long.
Yeah. So what? Probably under 100 chapters.
I think it's a little over.
It's a little over, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, y'all want to take a quick little breaky before we come back and talk about our big three?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know why Colt yelled.
I didn't.
He did.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Oh my god.
This episode is sponsored by Radco. Thank you.
Hey, yo, it's your fave podcast host back in the Ricka house.
And we've got a sick deal for all you fashion-forward listeners out there.
Yo, what's up, guys? I heard you talk about some fresh threads.
Oh, yeah. We have a third host now for this.
You got it, homie. Rad-co.net. It's the place to be for all your t-shirt needs. You need some threads for that hot bod.
Absolutely. That ripping sick-ass body. You need some stuff to cover it up because nobody wants to see you naked. They've got the coolest stuff ranging from Southern Gothic-inspired designs to social activism and some that are just straight up silly. Bitch.
Oh, that was a lot. What are you, a rock monster? Oh, word. I need some... God damn it. Oh, word. I need to copy some of these tees like yesterday.
Yes, you do.
And as a special offer for our podcast listeners, use the code all caps, one word, AYCH23 at checkout for a 10% discount on your first order.
It's the total order, and it's one fucking word. Sorry, it's one
Stop
word.
cussing!
It's one freaking word. I'm sorry.
That's all saying, Ed.
Blur that out.
God damn it, we're getting paid for this!
Don't miss out on the opportunity to upgrade your swag game, peeps.
Yeah, you only got slipping with basic threads. So hit up radco.net right now. That's rad-co.net.
Hyphen. It's a hyphen.
I'll play with you later, boss. Put in the AYCH23 discount code and let's get our fashion game on point, fam. Wicka woo!
And remember, stay true to yourself and keep it 100. Yo!
Wicka 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 woo! Woo woo woo! It's just noise.
back, everybody. This is the second part of this anime stuff.
Wenzel, I'm so glad you volunteered to bring us back in. Oh goodness.
You got nervous.
Hey, everybody! It's his first podcast. Please be easy on him. You know how it goes. Those first podcast jitters.
Yeah, welcome back to anime. We're going to be talking about more anime. We got three left.
Final 3.
Three.
Trifecta.
You can't say trifecta like that.
When I say trifecta, I mean 7.
Obviously, when referring to 3, just like we had the conversation, 2's a couple, couple's 2. You have to refer to it as a thruple.
No, it's a polycule.
We got a thruple.
We got a thruple of anime to bring to you. Starting off with the show stuck in Disney jail.
Yeah.
Not anymore, actually. Actually, I was on Hulu last night. I was going to bed, and I was thinking, like, what's on here? Before I jumped into my Pin 15 show, because I really like this show. It's funny. It's on Hulu.
Oh,
okay.
It's under its Japanese name, which is like Tengoku something. I can't remember.
Tengoku Daimako?
Yes.
Damako?
Okay.
Okay, well, it's on Hulu now. In every other country in the world, I believe it's on Disney Plus, though.
Pretty much.
I don't know why.
But we're talking Heavenly Delusion.
Yep. Heavenly Delusion.
Also, we'll give a heads up that this first episode. Never mind.
What?
I was gonna say it's a double length, but it wasn't.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It would line up so perfectly if there was like a third double length episode, since there's 2 on here. Or
I think it'd be funny if we just lied about it. Just like made up shit.
We just tell everybody.
I mean, we can say that. I mean, there's nothing.
It's an hour and 45 minutes.
There's nothing wrong with us lying.
And it's apparently about Jesus coming down to Japan and walking around with a laser pistol. It's pretty cool.
And that's when it turns out all of Christianity was wrong. That's why it's called Heavenly Delusion.
I don't think that's far off from what the show's actually about.
And that Jesus actually agreed with Adolf Hitler.
Oh, okay. Jesus. Good Lord.
Why?
Next anime.
Colt, you know how we've had that talk where you need to just take a second to think in your head before we say things out loud?
Oh, no. No. If I don't let the thoughts out, they cook and turn into even worse thoughts.
What's worse than what you just said?
I don't know. I don't want them to cook.
Okay.
Do not let this man cook.
That's fair. Okay. Heavenly Delusion.
Yeah, we should actually tell what it's about.
Is an anime.
It's not an hour and 45 minutes. It's only 20 something minutes.
It's just a regular episode, first episode. The Earth, something happened. There was some kind of catastrophe or disaster. So now the Earth, I say the Earth, we don't know, but Japan, as far as we can tell, is like a wasteland. It's decrepit, abandoned, like people are spread out, like machines don't work, whatever. So we follow there's this separate compound that we see with all these very pristine, very nice, very advanced technology. There's children, they're learning, but then there's like a very eerie kind of feel to it, very much kind of like, well, are they kept here against their will? Do they know what's happening? Like, is this like a Promised Neverland situation or something? Like, what's going on? Because we see the inside of this place, and then we see the outside. So there's the children that are in this compound, and then we follow not children, but like basically one teenager and one adult as they are making their way through Japan to a specific destination. The girl is named Kiriko, and the boy, I can't remember the boy's name. Sam, I remember the boy's name.
Boy. No,
Boy.
I can't remember.
Maru.
And this girl, Kiriko, has to take Maru to a specific location. This is her job. She's his bodyguard, and also in this world, there's monsters. That's kind of the gist, I guess. For some reason, I lost my train of thought of like, well, how do I summarize this? Because there is something in this first episode. Colt knows it because I explained it to him, but there is something that's very off, and you notice it if you know what I'm talking about. There's something very off in this first episode, and when you find out, kind of, they don't. I don't know how much they correlate, because I don't know if it's ever addressed later, but you know that it correlates with something that happens and that is told in the second episode. That's like, what the fuck? What?
So, I honestly think this show, based on what y'all have told me about the second episode, which is that there is a huge, like, what the fuck in the second episode.
It's not necessarily a huge what the fuck in the second episode. It's something like you realize what's happening.
You realize
Wenzel
what's happening?
got the huge what the fuck because he spoiled himself by reading something that was not spoilers, but it was spoilers.
Yeah, so basically what I did was I was like, that's weird. I kind of want to know what's going on with that, because this show seems fairly interesting, but it's getting kind of weird. So I wanted to see what that was about. So I went to something that was literally, it was only anime. It's only about the first two episodes. It's not about the first two episodes. It doesn't address. It is only contains stuff about the anime, which the anime has only been out literally for 2 episodes, and there's nothing else about the manga. And then immediately it gives away something that happens, and it's just it considers it like, oh, this is not a spoiler. This is part of the story. Blah 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 blah, and that's it. And then I was like, is this true? So I just went to the Wikipedia page for it again, just for the anime, and it's there too. So yeah.
So don't look the show up. Is what we've learned.
Basically.
Yeah, don't be curious about anything online.
But I will say, so animation wise, gorgeous fucking show.
It's very pretty.
It looks
very
super good, super clean. There's a fight scene in the first episode that involves Maru doing some hand-to-hand combat with a couple of older hooligans, and it's very well choreographed. It's awesome.
And then the girl pulls out a laser pistol. Not a bit.
That's real. That did happen.
Yeah,
That's
there
really
is
cool.
an actual laser pistol in the show. Colt was not lying about that part.
It was pretty
interesting to me, because watching the show, just with the opening scene, and I can't help but to compare it to it, it's Promised Neverland vibes.
Yeah.
Just that opening scene. Just that opening scene.
Well, I get what he's saying, because the opening scene is like, we have these kids in this compound, and it definitely feels, it definitely at first it feels Promised Neverland.
Yes.
But the kids know more than the kids in Promised Neverland know. And then also too, it's at the very end of the episode where I guess the director who runs this compound just tells one of the girls, like, yeah, there's some crazy shit outside.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, outside is hell. No, you were lucky to be
like,
in
that's
here.
not even a bit. They literally say outside is hell full of monsters.
Yeah.
And we get this
in Promised Neverland, they say that there's no outside or anything.
Yeah, they say there's nothing out there, or they just don't tell them, or the kids don't get old enough to be that inquisitive or that, like, that curious. They're basically
fucking food.
Yeah, because they're basically groomed and they're basically raised up to basically be like that, and they're never really given the means to be like, oh, what's out there or whatever. They're never get to that point. They die so young.
Yep.
That's Promised Neverland, and here that's not that.
This isn't that, but like, I can definitely see if you're the type of person that turns on the show and you see something, you're like, oh, fucking bullshit. Just please give it a minute, because it is not Promised Neverland at all. Our main protagonists are much older.
Yeah,
Maru is 15, and the
and then the
girl
girl
is said to be between
any-
18 and 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not good with numbers. Also, there was some funny bits in here too.
Also,
Yeah,
the kids in the compound, they are, let's just say, elites in the human, or genetically something is different.
oh yeah, because
Just
one
from the actions that they do inside.
they do certain things that kind of give you an idea of like, okay, there's something going on with these children, because like there's this one kid, he's very much into art, but he draws a fish with multiple hands,
which
that's
looks fun.
It looks fun, but it's eerie. There's another kid who kicks a ball super far and is able to catch up with it like instantaneously almost. There's one girl who's very kind of like has premonitions. And one of the girls looks like our male lead character, Maru, which is like, because Maru is all these men think that Maru is a girl when he's not. So that's kind of a hint there, I think, that maybe there's something, you know.
And another girl had cat ears,
which is the biggest form of genetic modification we as the human race can handle.
Yes.
I'm trying to think, because I don't want to. Well, I mean, obviously we're just talking about the first episode, but so I won't lie, I was a little lukewarm on it until the end of the first episode, and the end of the first episode is what made me want to watch more. So essentially, at the end of the first episode, they're staying at this little inn, and the innkeeper, the shopkeeper, whatever you want to call him, is like laying with a rifle, and this like crazy looking demon that kind of looks like a weird crow until it opens its mouth and it has this weird fucking face.
Yeah.
Comes down from the sky, and it's almost, it seems like bargaining may be taking place. We don't know, because that's where the episode ends.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
That's what made me want to watch this show. I'm like, okay, because like I've seen plenty of post, apocalypse adventures. Like I've seen that story told. And even ones with monsters I've seen told, but it definitely seems like this show, at least judging from just the first episode, has a hook that most of, or not any of these other shows have, and I'm curious to find out what it is.
Yeah, I agree. Because like at first I was like, okay, this seems kind of fun. Where will this go? Because the kids also too, like they made it very abundantly clear that they don't be out at night. They're inside, they're indoors at night, they go to bed, they sleep. They're relatively safe because there's like storm clouds and thunder, and it's crazy. And then same thing with Inn, where it's revealed that there's monsters called man-eaters, and the kids are like, oh, we can kill it for you if you want us to. Like that's what we do, or whatever. The girl, at least, she says that they can do that. The girl she says she takes odd jobs, and her job this time is to be a bodyguard for this boy. But like Tanner said, we've kind of like seen this creature around a little bit. It comes out at night, and it looks like basically like it looks like it has 4 legs. It's like a decapitated crow, and you can see it, but it has these very thin hair-like tentacles. And its head, it's so creepy. It even makes a sound at the very end that, like, even though my volume wasn't turned up high, it echoed in my ear. It was so high pitched. It was really cool. I'm very interested, because also to the innkeeper, she seemed normal and nice. Like you're not really given any suspicion, literally, until they say that they can kill the man-eater, and then she kind of just leaves the food boiling on her counter.
And like she grabs at her knife.
Yeah, like it's very weird. Which was like, I was like, okay, what's going on here? What are your thoughts, Colt?
I immediately watched the second episode right after I finished the first one, because I was very curious about what happened next. I really enjoyed it, and I think like I don't know if I'll continue to keep watching it week to week, but I definitely want to catch the next few episodes to see how I really feel about it. Because I enjoyed what I saw in the first 2, but I'm not like hooked.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's like, I'm interested in the second episode, but the second episode is going to have to hook me. I I don't, unless this has some sort of fucking crazy twist, I don't see it becoming week to week for me. But it's definitely a show. It seems like some of the shows that have come out, especially in the last 2 or 3 years, that people are like, "Oh, this is really good. Oh, this is really good," and it just seems like it's gonna have a disappointing ending. I don't know why. It's giving me like the same. I don't want to say artsy, but like it's a show kind of about nothing, but it says what you need to know. But
What are you even
I'm interested.
referencing?
There's been several different shows that have come out in the last couple. Wonder Egg Priority is the one I always like kind of draw back on. Is like it was good up until it wasn't.
I didn't continue that, so I don't know.
It's on my backlog.
I mean, and it's real. I still think it's worth watching. It's just like, But anyways, but the shows like that, like, but I am interested to see where this goes. I think solely just because of the two protagonists and like the animation style, I'll give it another shot. But I need something in the next episode or two to really like sink my teeth into.
See, I really wish you had seen the second episode because I like this thing that like I got spoiled for. I really want to talk about because it's so bizarre. Like I don't like it's so weird. I don't know how to like because now to be fair, a lot of anime shonen specifically will always have like weird tropes or fan service or stuff like that. So it's not like it's too bizarre or too off-putting, but like I'm just like that's also what makes me like curious about like, well, like where does this go exactly with the show, with the story. So yeah, I know I'm saying a lot and not giving anything away. I just can't talk about it.
This is the first episode review, just based on the first episode. I think we can all say that the end of the first episode will probably make you want to watch the second episode.
Yeah.
Now, where that second episode will leave you, I can't say because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, wait. I could probably say now there is something. So, something happens. Like I said, something happens in the first episode. That's the reason why I went kind of to see what was that about. Can I say what that was?
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, it's first episode, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the thing I'm talking about, it's like close towards the end. It's where Kiriko goes to kiss herself in the mirror. She's gonna make out with herself in the mirror.
Can't really go into anything other than that. Because if you say anything else, it's spoiling.
But if you're like Wenzel and that got
that
you curious,
you Google kissing in the mirror stuff.
I thought it was just, I don't know, something about it. I was like, that is like something about it. I was like, that's kind of weird.
I will say the scene was framed as weird because it also plays like eerie music during it as well.
Yeah.
And it's like framed in a really weird way. So I know I definitely agree with that.
Now it's kind of played off too for comedy because the innkeeper kind of walks in on her and she's like, nothing's happening, nothing's going on. But then it was like, I don't know, something. It was just like my, like, I don't know. It was just
You've
bizarre.
done this before?
Made out with myself in the mirror.
Just say yes or no, Wenzel.
I have spider sense.
What?
I have a spidey sense. I don't know. I'm not answering the question.
Okay.
No.
No, you're not answering the question. Okay.
No to the question.
Okay, yeah, no, you're not answering the question. We got it.
Okay.
Anything else to say about this?
Do we give a
ahead.
recommendation or I guess to start off first episode?
For me, check it out. Check it out.
Yeah,
I think it's worth a check.
Yeah, I would say check it out. Again, I think this is going to be a show you're going to be able to tell you like within the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's going to be like a whole season commitment, and then you get to the end, you're like, oh well, fuck, that sucked. I think you're going to be able to tell really quickly. So I would like to watch the second episode and decide, but the first episode got me curious enough where I will continue it for now.
All right.
We want to get into what next? Well,
Yeah.
what next?
Yeah, I think we should. I think we need to.
This is something that's a long time returning series. Something that when it first came out, we loved it. We thought it was a banger, and let me tell you, it turned into one of the biggest manga / anime of all time.
Let's just say first form, podcast breathing first form. Let's talk about Demon Slayer to the Swordsmith Village.
Yes,
Season
sir.
3.
Season 3. So also we'll preface to say, even if for some reason, if you haven't watched this yet, but you saw the little movie that they released in theaters in the last month or two, you've seen this first episode.
Yes.
You just saw it in the theater. But this is a double length episode. It's 45 minutes.
Spoilers for Demon Slayer.
Yeah, should say.
Oh yeah.
And again, there will be timestamps, so don't fret too much. But spoilers for seasons 1, Mugen Train, and season 2 of Demon Slayer ahead. Not full series spoilers. Just talking about it in the context of this first episode of season 3.
We're just
Yep.
assuming you already know about those.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean it's literally the biggest anime in the world right now as far as popularity goes. If you count the West as well, biggest anime in the world. So if you haven't seen it by this point, Wenzel, you know,
What if I told you I didn't watch anything?
shit or get off the fucking pot.
Well, what if I told you I shit and I didn't get off the pot?
Oh,
No,
you look just like sitting in it,
Yeah.
I don't think
marinating.
he's sitting in the fucking toilet, Colt.
I know, but you're marinating in the stench.
Yes. The skin off my ass has fallen off.
Listen,
Fall off.
sometimes you lose track of playing Marvel Snap on the toilet.
I've never got that. I don't understand people like letting the poop dry up on their booty hole. I poop and get off immediately. I'm
Well,
not.
no, you can poop and wipe and still sit on the toilet.
Oh, it sounds like you just don't want to go back to work.
Who said I did this at work?
Oh fuck.
Uh-oh. Cut. Wenzel, you want to dive into it as being the Demon Slayer newcomer, relatively speaking? You want to take us through it?
Yeah, sure, I can. Should I just... I guess I'll give you a base synopsis, basically, of this first episode. So first off, we're given a little reminder of, like, okay, this takes place after season 2, of course, with it ends with, you know, them defeating Upper Six's Gyotaro and Daki, Sound Hashira retiring, all that. Then we go right
just
into...
like me.
We go right into the tease at the very end of the season, which was Akaza being called to the Infinity Castle. All of the Upper Moon have been called to the Infinity Castle. This is where we get the full reveal lineup of the Upper Moons. We get Upper Moons literally from 5 to 1. Upper Moon 5 is Gyoko. Upper Moon 4 is Han Tengu. Upper Moon 3, Akaza. Upper Moon 2, Doma. And Upper Moon 1, Kokushibu.
Every single one of them looks super interesting. Even the ones like with the big bulbous head thing. I feel like there's way more to him than we realize.
Yeah, because you kind of get a kind of a tease in the intro, which we do get the opening at the very end of the episode. Super sick, but we'll talk about that later.
And we'll get there.
But yeah, we Gyoko and Kokushibu are probably my two favorite designs because Gyoko is literally a character that I would have drawn. He literally, his eyes, so one of his eyes is in his mouth, his other eye is his where his I guess you would say a third eye, an eye on his forehead, and then his eye, and where his eyes would actually be are actually two mouths. Really cool. He also has baby hands on his head. So, and he comes out of a pot too. And from what we guess too, he's an artist. He makes pottery. Pretty crazy.
What a loser.
And then we get basically Muzan telling them that Upper Moon 6 was killed. And Muzan basically getting pissed about why, why has this change come around? You know, why have they failed for so long? You know, why have they found the blue spider lily? Why the Ubayashiki family hasn't been destroyed? That's the family, the master of the Demon Slayer Corps. That's the people who lead it. Yeah, and we get kind of that, and we just kind of get introduced to these characters and the situation, I guess. It's also revealed too by Han Tengu that that's been 113 years since they last met, which is also crazy. That's when
because they only meet when an upper rank dies.
Yeah, when the ranks have changed, and that means that the ranks, that was when Gyotaro became part of the upper rank. So that was 113 years ago. Also, too, should mention Han Tengu. Tengu is literally in his name. I assume he's going to turn into a bird or a goblin.
Is that the dude that got his like fucking whole head ripped off? Not ripped off, but like smashed off by Akaza?
No, that's Doma.
That was Doma, yeah.
Okay.
Which Doma was also teased in season 2. He was the one that brought in Gyotaro, but at that time he was upper 6, and now he's upper 2.
Yeah, he climbed and he's teasing.
He's one of the strongest fucking demons, which is crazy.
Yeah, and has been a demon for less time than Akaza.
Yeah, and then also, too, we get a tease that he's the leader of a fucking cult.
Yep.
Which was, like, also crazy. Like, I was like, wow, never thought about that. To, like, literally, yeah, you could do that. You could be the leader of a cult and be a god. And also, too, okay, so this whole scene, beautiful. Like, this intro with Akaza, I don't want to say descending, because he descends, he ascends, he goes left to right, through the Infinity Castle. It's so sick. The animation, so gorgeous. What are your guys' thoughts about this intro?
I think the intro's bussin'. To be quick, but it's really fucking good. It's insane how the quality has jumped. Even though I think the first season is still really good quality, but you can really see the money coming through with this newest season. Especially, everything looks not animated. And
Muzan at one point is using beakers and test tubes that look fucking real.
The pen that he's writing with, dude, I want that pen.
It's some of the most insane. Never mind that this is fucking television. Like, it doesn't have movie budget behind it, but you can definitely see where they're like, hey, actually, we made a fuck ton of money. Here
is cinematic.
Here is a little bit of it, and they make it cinematic as shit. Because this whole Infinity Castle part is essentially the first half of the first episode, and like the castle looks amazing. The voice acting is on another level. There's tense moments. The sound design is great.
Sound design. Yes.
I mean, it is insane. Like the amount of just production that went into this. And it's not even the movie. Like Colt said, like Demon Slayer has always been very stylish, has always looked good. Harken back to really what popped it off in the West, which was episode 19 of season 1. With Tanjiro, going fucking crazy.
Beast.
Yeah, going beast mode. But like, imagine if it was that level of animation for just like regular shit. Like
architecture.
It almost makes me scared what the fight scenes this season are going to look like, because I think my eyes are going to melt.
I mean, did you not see what happened in season 2? That shit was
I was gonna say the final fight between Gyotaro and Izui, everybody
is insane.
It's like literally, like, I would say probably just like episode 19 of season 1 is probably the best episode.
Oh yeah, no, it's insane, crazy. And I think they're going to top it because I think there's more money to use. Obviously, season 2 was already pretty much done by the time Mugen Train came out. Now they have that Mugen Train money, and it's blown up in the West. I really, really think that we're going to get something fucking crazy. Like, I mean, I don't know what. It's kind of like, the first time you play, like, when you were a kid, you played a PlayStation 2 game, and you're like, how can games look better than this? And that they do.
Like, there's a PlayStation 5 now.
Yeah, and like it's going to be like that, where we watch that, the fight from the end of season 2 or episode 19. You're like, man, how does animation get better than this? And then they fucking do it, and you're like, oh my god, yeah.
All of the upper moons again. those eyes, man. Doma's eyes are probably the most beautiful. I would say that rainbow color.
Yeah.
But he easily seems like he's upper 2. Have a feeling he's like the nastiest bitch.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna be end up being the strongest of them all.
Because, well, I mean, upper 1.
I don't know. I feel like he can do something.
Okay, sure, but upper 1 is upper 1 for a reason. We'll talk about it, but definitely Doma is not somebody to be taken lightly, just because he's also upper 2. Also, too, there's a part in there where he said, "Oh man, I'm so sorry, Muzan. Should I just rip out my eyeballs for you?" And Muzan's like, "I don't fucking need your eyeballs."
No, he actually says, "What would I do with your wretched eyeballs?"
Eyeballs. Yeah, no, that's exactly what he said. I just love it. I just love the vibe of
Muzan's such a punk. Like, what's his
he's a
deal,
punk
bro?
bitch.
Yeah, what's his deal? Why is he always in such a bad mood?
Why doesn't he go out during the day? You know?
He needs
Really makes you think.
he needs to find and settle down with someone nice.
Well, he does have wives and he has children.
Yeah.
He's doing something.
You think we can set him up with someone from the church?
Bruh, I think we should.
You got a niece. I'm pretending to be an old lady.
Yeah, I didn't really get what kind of bit you were going.
I don't
for
know
there.
either.
Okay, you don't understand, or the moments where it's like a 30-year-old woman. It's a very easy trope in like rom-coms.
I got this. Oh my goodness, I have a niece who you would just love.
Yeah, we're doing that for Muzan.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, this is a very fictional situation where I'm this 80-year-old grandma with like a 20 or 30-something-year-old niece. I do have a niece in real life. She is 4. So that's yeah. Anyway,
here's my bit. Oh, what's your name, sweetie? Moosin?
Oh, that's such a beautiful name.
Is your name Moosin?
He looks just like Michael Jackson.
Okay, that's enough of that bit.
Anyway, yeah, so this was really sick. Then we finally, like I said, Upper Moon 1, we get revealed. He is this badass looking motherfucker with 6 eyes, just a cold ass stare. Oh my god. And it's very heavily implied that he was a demon slayer.
Yep.
Because
he looks like we can go ahead and talk about this already.
Well, okay, no, hold on. We got to talk about the next scene, because there's a next scene that plays into a theory I'm going to talk about. So real quick, I'll say it real quick. So there's the next scene after everybody disappears and goes back to what the fuck they were doing. Yoko has a special mission with Han Tengu. Those are the 2 big Upper Moon baddies for the season. So we get a scene where it's very peaceful, very nice. We get this guy, the mysterious man we've been seeing for the past 2 seasons. He's holding a baby. And then a man comes up to give him, some drinks and food for helping them, for protecting them, for kind of babysitting for them. And then it's revealed that this man who comes up is that's his kid. The guest is babysitting the mysterious man we've been seeing that Muzan is so afraid of. He's holding this other man's child. That's his child. So he takes back his kid, holding him, and this guy looks exactly like Tanjiro and has his checkered haori, I think it's what it's called, the green and black jacket. And he's telling him, oh man, thank you so much. Is there any way, we can help you out or anything? And, we get this really kind of deep talk where he's like, you think the mysterious man is like, you think of me as being a special person, but I'm not. He keeps saying, or he says that I failed to do I failed to do what I was supposed to. I am as worthless as my name is, because this man, who's insisting on helping this swordsman, because he has a sword, helping this mysterious swordsman because he protected them and he wants to spread his name or do something because he has no heirs. So and this mysterious swordsman is also wearing the Hanafuda earrings that Tanjiro wears. So it's like,
And
well,
he has
shit.
the same tint of hair as Tanjiro as well.
Same tint as hair, and we get a full face reveal too. And he has the mark just like Tanjiro on his head. And then this man and the man who's saying, like, asking him, pleading with him, like, please, like, let us pass on something for posterity, for you, for helping us, something. But he, as that happening, it's like a really emotional scene where he's like, no, don't say that about yourself. Don't say that. And then that's where we cut into Tanjiro awaking from his coma. It was basically a dream, but also a memory. Oh, and the man who looks like Tanjiro, his name is revealed to be Somayoshi. So now we can go into what you were going to say, Colt.
Essentially, that the man that we've been seeing in the flashbacks whenever Tanjiro is doing his flame breathing, the person dancing sun breathing with the dancing with the cool sword, ceremonial sword and stuff, is maybe not his dad, but maybe is his dad.
Okay, so here's where I got to go into my theory. So buckle up, sit down.
Theory time.
Theory time. All right. So I've been curious. So since we're anime onlys, we have to be careful about the ground we walk, about where we tread, to not get spoiled. So I've been kind of going around, seeing what people are saying, seeing people's theories and stuff. And I just think it's so funny seeing people talk about this, because at first it's purposely done to be misleading. I get that. But it's so funny because every time we've seen Somayoshi, now we've seen this mysterious swordsman, now we've seen Kokoshibu, everybody keeps saying, man, that's Tanjiro's dad. That is Tanjiro's dad. It's like, motherfuckers, like, Tanjiro doesn't have 4 dads. It's not possible. So something that we've learned already, if you don't know, Tanjiro's dad, his name is Tanjiro, which is just Tanjiro, but with a U. So Tanjiro. Sorry, I said that kind of weird at first. But yeah, and from just now that we have a full face reveal of this mysterious swordsman, that's not his dad. And then he also explicitly says he has no heirs. So that means they're not even blood related either. And
so he just looks like his dad.
He doesn't look like his dad. They have similar tint of hair, but notice too, hair and eye color and eyes are very important in Demon Slayer. And if you look at Tanjiro and this mysterious man, they have different eyes, they have different hair.
But they have the same birthmark.
Well, barely. They barely have the same mark. And even then, Somayoshi, who we see there, doesn't have the mark. Only Tanjiro. And then Tanjiro gets the mark, but it's only because it was just an accident, and then over time it's altered itself, which is probably due to mystical reasons. Obviously, there's some supernatural elements, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
The show's called fucking Demon Slayer.
Yeah. And then also too, so not only that too, it's like explicitly stated that Tanjiro comes from a long line of charcoal sellers, and Somayoshi literally says that my family are like charcoal sellers. So it's very clear and obvious that Somayoshi is more than likely an ancestor of Tanjiro. And also too, something we've noticed is that, again, hair and eyes are very important. Somayoshi, Tanjiro, they share the same not only tint but also same kind of aesthetics of hair and eyes. Their eyes are very similar. This man, his eyes, again, he doesn't obviously he has pupils, but design and artistically he doesn't have pupils. It's just solid color. Yeah, and then also too, this man doesn't have the same haori as Tanjiro. Tanjiro has, it was like an orange. I can't remember if it was an orange checkered one. I don't want to look it up because I'm afraid of spoilers.
Yeah,
but
just don't look up anything.
His haori was completely different from this man. So again, they can't be related, and he can't be his dad. And so yeah. And then now with this, it's like, okay, so this only more now. So now it's like, since now we got this full scene, there should be little confusion, and if anything, more intrigue, because now it's confirmed this man is not related to the Komodos. The only thing that he's done is he's given them their Hanafuda earrings, and he's passed on sun breathing, which I'm going to go ahead and make a guess that this man might be, I don't know if he might be the first Demon Slayer, but he might be the first Demon Slayer, because in the opening, or not the opening, yeah, maybe it was the opening. Yeah, the opening. It shows him at the very forefront, and then it shows all the Demon Slayers that come after him. So it's very clear that his sun breathing and all the breathing styles come from sun breathing. So it's possible that he's the first one. But also too, it seems there are also people whom I think that maybe him and Kokushibu are the same person, that he became a demon. I don't think so. I'm going to go ahead and make a guess that they're brothers. The reason why is that this swordsman said that he failed at doing something that was important. I think he failed at keeping his brother from turning into a demon. And that's who Kokushibu is, because they have the same, again, they have the same markings. Their hairstyles are similar, but a little different. But they're not the same person. He has a purple Harari, kind of checker too. Also too, they have to be really old, because they have no semblance of a Demon Slayer uniform and their swords. So the mysterious swordsman that we see with Somayoshi, we see his sword. We get a good shot of it too. If you notice, the craftsmanship isn't bad, but it's very old, very not refined like the craftsmanship we have for the Demon Slayers now. I believe that he's
last time that they met together, the demons, the top 5, they last met 100 and something years ago. And when in that flashback, I'm like, can they alter the way they look to humans? I can't remember. Because if they can, he can easily remove the eyes. But if they can't, that flashback's definitely way, way older than Tanjiro.
Yeah, I mean,
no, that's what
I think it's pretty implied that flashback is a couple of 100 years before the current timeline.
I that's what I was gonna say. I was like, I think this is 100, maybe more, because again, like, it just, the sword, the style of uniform, everything just looks so like old and different. Like I think it's hundreds upon hundreds of years. And again, it can't be Tanjiro's dad, because also too, like, because people were also thinking, oh, maybe Tanjiro's dad is Kokushibu. Like, well, no, because then that would make Tanjiro's dad 113 years old. Like, that's not that's not possible, because he died, and we know he died.
Yeah,
and he died young. So like, that doesn't add up. Like, unless there's time travel, there could be, but I doubt it, because they can't also bring back the dead. Anyway, yeah. So that's my theory. I believe that this man is just somebody who was really cool, really nice, and possibly the first Demon Slayer. He passed on the breathing into the Hinama Kagura, passed on his earrings. Him and Kokushibu are brothers, and that's just how Tanjiro and his family know sun breathing and have some connection to this man and the Demon Slayers. That's my theory. Sorry, that's a lot. I didn't realize how long I was talking. I'm out of breath.
No, that's definitely a good, because I think you're spot on with them being brothers, just because, I mean, in everything ever, if there's something to do with the sun, there's also something to do with the moon.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was like,
there is probably some sort of moon breathing or something similar, and I bet Kokushibe,
I didn't think about that.
May have something. Again, I have not read the Demon Slayer manga at all. This is all guesswork. But I really like your theory, and I think it will come down to a showdown between, sun breathing versus moon breathing, and we'll get some really cool fucking flashbacks. I'm sure it'll go fucking dummy.
And also too, Kokushibu can't be this mysterious swordsman, because every time we hear about Muzan talking about how fucking scared he is of this guy, he's trembling, pissed off. But when he's around Kokushibu, he doesn't show him the same kind of, terror or fear or anything.
Yeah.
He's an upper moon. And then when he says, like, damn, bro, like, whenever he's like, damn, bro, I don't know what to tell you. I just can't fucking find that family. Like, it's nothing of terror or fear or anything. So that also makes me think, like, they have to be brothers or something, man.
Yeah.
There's something there. Anyway, sorry. That's my theory. That's a game theory. That's a Wenzel theory. Don't tell me if I'm right.
Yeah, or wrong. Don't say anything.
Don't say that either. So I guess we should probably go into the rest of the this episode? Does anyone want to talk about that? I've talked for a long time. Does
No,
anyone want to take?
I'm ready to get to the Tanjiro goofy moments.
Okay, so
because there is a total tonal shift in this episode where like, so the first half is like the meeting in the Infinity Castle, and then the second half is like, oh Tanjiro, you're finally up from your 2-month coma, and we get like funny like goofy Demon Slayer.
Yeah,
for peak. It's
for the second half, yeah, which is still like incredibly good.
I laughed out loud.
My favorite bit, probably from the entire second episode, is the one where Tanjiro's just waking up and he's learning the news that fucking Boarhead
Nosuke,
he woke up, or no, he passed on. He thought he died. And he's like, damn, I guess I'm hallucinating him on the roof, aren't I? And everybody slowly looks up and they start screaming.
Yeah, because he's right there hanging onto the ceiling. And it's so funny. Like, that was probably the moment I laughed the hardest, because he's just up there and he's just like like, it's like
that was pretty good.
That's pretty accurate.
Thank you. Like, it was just a perfect, like, you caught me. Like,
Inosuke's a little stinker.
He's a little goofy.
He's a little goofball.
He is a goofy little dude.
And it's just a really nice moment too. Also, too, Zenitsu being like, literally, Zenitsu woke up not too long ago and immediately goes out on a fucking mission. Like, dude,
does not want to.
Well, yeah, forced to go out on a mission.
Yeah, but like, dude, that's pretty. Like, I mean, if he can get back up after the shit that just happened and going out on a mission, pretty ball.
Well, no, it said that Zenitsu just woke up the next day.
Yeah, but that's still.
And so it's been 2 months since Zenitsu woke up.
Zibibu.
Yeah, Zibibaba woke
Tanjiro,
up.
though, is still in recovery.
Yeah.
Zenitsu didn't go right into recovery. He went out on a mission.
To be fair, I feel like Tanjiro suffered the most during that fight. He used every single thing.
Also, Tanjiro got fucking asthma, Wenzel, and no inhaler.
If anyone here were to die, it would have been the wind guy or him. But he's the main character, so he's not gonna die. But
wait,
realistically,
wind guy.
No, the fucking
sound.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Fucking Inosuke got stabbed through the heart, and the only reason he didn't die is because he's learned how to move his organs.
Sure.
Now, I can do that.
Now, okay, but now you're right though, because I did forget. I think Zenitsu was the only one who didn't get poisoned. But also, it's kind of crazy too that Zenitsu didn't get poisoned, and like, he doesn't like need a new sword. That's something I notice people talk about. Zenitsu is like, throughout the anime, he's the only person who hasn't had to request a new sword. And it's like,
maybe his alter ego is more skilled than people realize.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, dude's a skilled swordsman, and that's pretty cool.
Maybe that's why he wasn't in a coma, because he was asleep the whole fight anyways.
That's also another thing too. Is like, he was asleep the entire time, so why would he need to be in a coma? I love it. But yeah, no, it was a really wholesome moment too. Everybody being worried. We also really see kind of like, oh God, what's her name? She's the freaking. She's the fellow swordsman, but she's under Butterfly Hashira.
Canal.
Yeah, Kane, or God, I can't remember her name. We kind of see like, okay, like there's some kind of affection there, you know?
Yeah, and then we got to see the side character, the guy,
Goto,
the messenger guy. He comes in there, he's like, "What the fuck? Why didn't you alert anyone? You fucking idiot!"
Yeah, it's so funny too, because he's like, "Do you remember that time when that guy was getting mad at Tanjiro to wake up? That was me." It's really funny. It's really good. Yeah, and then we go after that. We go into kind of, you know, recovery mode for Tanjiro, him building up his strength. Zenitsu and Inosuke, I don't think they're gonna be here for this season, which is kind of weird. But they're basically going out on their own missions, and you know, the name of the season is the Swordsmith Village, because Tanjiro as he's trying to recover, he's like, "Oh, did I get my new sword?" The girl's like, "Well, you got some letters," and the letters are fucking funny because it's nothing but smeared writing of I hate you, I curse you, I'm
I
not
hate
getting a
you.
sword."
I wish upon your death, you make me want to die.
Which, like, I was like, man, that's funny. And yeah, Haganazuka, I think is his name, the swordsmith for Tanjiro. And yeah, and something also too, because like he's been like very dramatic through the entire show, like basically almost trying to kill Tanjiro because he breaks or chips his sword or what have you. And then one of the girls says like, "Oh, well, swords get damaged easily. Like it's not like he's being kind of,
Yeah, they're like, he's a
dramatic."
baby.
Yeah, but then also too, I was like learning about the process of how swords are made, especially back then. I'm just like, he kind of has every right to be mad because it takes fucking forever. Like it's really
Oh
hard.
yeah, the fucking blacksmith. You ask a modern day blacksmith, what their like least favorite thing to make. It's always going to be katanas
Yeah,
because they're so fucking tedious to make, and also, when it comes to swords, they're kind of shitty.
I was gonna say too, because I was watching some sword videos recently, and it was talked about how like katanas were almost always like chipped or like run to the issues of rusting or like
You
breaking.
had to take very good care of them, or
Very
you would
good
fucking
care. Even though
break it.
they're very good swords, they're very good to use. They're literally on par with like the European longsword or whatever. Like they're kind of you could take either, but you have to care for it, and also too, it's really hard to make.
Also,
And-
Tanjiro's broke like 3 of them.
Yeah. He lost. Well, now one of them he lost. He didn't have to lose it too.
He just chucked that shit.
He chucked it. So it's like that's kind of on Tanjiro there. But now, yeah. So he requests to go to the swordsmith village, and also we find that I find that fascinating too, because they have to blindfold him, plug up his ears and his nose, and then also the guide can't tell him their name.
And
because-
also, they're blindfolded.
No.
Yeah, the guide was blindfolded.
No, they
no,
just
they-
like ran to a different guide over and over and over
yeah.
again.
So basically, the whole process is
Oh, I
The
thought the guide was
Kakushi-
blindfolded.
no, they have to. They're being guided by a crow, but they pass him on to a different person, and they get a different crow, and then it goes like that. It goes like that until finally they actually get to the swordsmith village. Now it is kind of weird because like, okay, well then the final Kakushi and the final crow know where it is, so you can't really keep it secret. But also too, if you don't know the name of the Kakushi and their face and visage are hidden, and you don't know the name of the crow, then yes, it is still hidden. Like it doesn't change the fact that it's hidden. And then also too, it's revealed that the Ubuyashiki family are kept hidden as well. That's why they've been able to survive for so long, which was very fascinating. And then we get to see the village, very peaceful, very nice. There's a spring. It's really nice. We get a fan service moment that was awesome. Am I gonna say anything about that?
Yeah, it's a very
Yeah.
funny moment.
Kanroji pulls up out of the spring, full body.
Fucking boobies and butt just straight out on the screen. And I find it funny because she's the only character really in Demon Slayer that's all fan service all the time. And
I also find it funny that was the part where my wife walks in and she's like, "Oh, this is what you were watching." I'm just like, it's not just all this.
it's an art
please."
form, okay?
I'm like, this show doesn't even have this.
It really doesn't.
It really doesn't. Like, I can't. There's probably been 3. It's always her. Probably like 3 or 4 parts of fan service ever in Demon Slayer. And even Tanjiro, our good little Christian boy, canonically Christian,
Yes.
covers her up.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very sweet. But before that, though, he goes to meet the chief of the Swordsmith Village. One of my favorite characters already. Dude, small. He says, the smallest and most important person in the village is me. And I was like, that's me. That's me. I'm small and I'm important.
Yeah,
funny-
he sniffs his own farts like Wenzel.
No.
Yeah. He
Why-
is
why
a
would you say
huge
that?
fart.
This
And
guy
also
is so
obsessed
wholesome.
with feet.
Why would you do this?
He said, "Tanjiro, bring those dogs here."
That
He
did not
started
happen.
sucking. He started
Which is how
whopping.
Wenzel likes to start every podcast.
Do you want?
That's-
Do you want?
I
to
really
tell
haven't
this?
wanted to get into this, but Wenzel wanted me back a part of AYCH solely for my toes.
Solely.
Do you want me to tell Demon Slayer, or do you guys just want to do this? Because it's funny. It's
I want
funny.
to do the toe bit.
Anyway, yeah, this little old guy. Also, too, everybody in the Swordsmith Village wears the Hyotoko mask. Same reason, they have to be hidden. They have to be kept secret.
Same reason Wenzel wears his.
Yeah, and and then we come to find out that Hanazuka, I can never get his name right. Hanazuka is missing. He got so mad, so upset that he just left. He went missing. He just retreated into himself, and they're trying to look for him. Oh yeah, his first name's Hotaro. I'm gonna say Hotaro. The village chief picked it out. He's like, it's a cute name, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and Tanjiro's even like, yeah, that's so cute.
So cute. and then there's a moment where like Tanjiro's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like I shouldn't have broke or chipped my sword or whatever. And he's like, and then immediately the voice changed, like, no. he shouldn't have made you
in the first place.
He shouldn't have made you a faulty sword in the first place. And one of the smiths is behind him, is like, we're gonna find him. Oh, we're gonna find him.
And we're gonna make him make you another sword.
And if not, you're gonna get a new swordsmith. As he's like punching the air, and Tanjiro's like, you're not gonna hurt him, right? Never answer the question. And so they tell him to go take a good long soak in the spring, and they go
That's
there.
when boobies happen.
That's where boobies happen. Tanjiro's very sweet though, covers it up. Because Kanroji is brushed off by some dude, which we finally get to see him again after seeing him twice in season 1, Genya. But he also loses a tooth that Tanjiro catches. Also too, he's older. He has a longer mohawk too. But yeah, we get to see that Tanjiro, he takes off all his clothes. A crow covers his crotch, gets in, and asks a question that I didn't even realize. He's like, "Are you and the Windhusher related?" And I was like, "Huh." Come to find out, yeah, they're possibly related. They have the same last name. They're more than likely brothers. Don't remember. Windhusher is Shinagazawa, I believe.
Is that the one with the angry eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, they look the same.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, they look kind of the same now that I think about it. They have the same eyes, which again, eyes are important.
Eyes are very important in Demon Slayer.
They have the same eyes, so it makes sense. But and also voice actor for Bakugo for this guy.
Yeah. He's just an angry dude ripping his teeth out. So.
That dude has made his career just being angry, angsty teenager.
I wonder what he sounds like not voice acting.
Not doing the Bakugo voice.
Probably normal.
I just imagine that's how he sounds, because you can always tell it's him in a show.
Yeah, that's true. But the guy just tells him to die, and then he leaves. And Nezuko also has a very cute moment where she's just swimming around like a little creature in the spring. It's very funny.
Fun because Nezuko is still in baby mode because she went beast mode in the last season.
Yep. Yeah. Also very cute too, because Kanroji really good with kids. She plays with Nezuko like a little sister. It's so fucking cute.
Yeah, she tickled Nezuko to a point where she's like, "Please stop!
I can't handle this."
Very awkward.
They changed voice actors for that moment too.
Yeah, it was a very deep scream. I think it was Bakugo's voice actor.
Sinead. But we get some more interactions where they're eating dinner. They reveal that again he's the Windhusher's younger brother, but the Windhusher says he doesn't have any brothers or family. So it's like, is there bad blood? Is there something going on there? We find out Kanroji has a big family too. Also, she likes to eat, which I'm like, hell yeah, girl.
And the only reason she became a soul eater, a fucking demon slayer, is because she wants to find a man that's stronger than her.
Yeah, like that entire, like she talks about how like, oh, she's looking for a strong man, and she ended up becoming a Hashira.
Wenzel screaming at his computer, "I'm right here! I'm right here!"
I don't know. She might be stronger than me.
Yeah, I
Did
think she's
anybody see
stronger
her
than
arms?
everyone.
Like, there's obviously the butt shot of her, but like if you look at her arms, the way they're drawn, she has some arms, bro.
I imagine if you're a Hashira, you got to be buff. That's the only thing.
Yeah. But yeah, then it's we get this kind of moment of where, you know, Nezuko and Tanjiro love Kanroji, but then Kanroji and this also other Kikuchi love Tanjiro, and Kanroji is leaving the village. Her sword's ready. They just need to make some adjustments, and Kanroji whispers in Tanjiro's ear that there's some secret weapon in the Swordsmith village to make people stronger. Tell them to go and find it. And then also too, we get the only moment where Tanjiro blows blood out of his fucking nose, like geyser. Like,
yeah.
So
Classic
I
shonen protagonist blood geyser.
yeah. It's very fun. We skip to the next day. Tanjiro's gonna go look for it, and then we get introduced to our other Hashira for the season, which is the Mist Hashira, Moichiro Takedo, who is talking to one of the swordsmith kids. He wants to do something, and there's a little reveal of somebody there who is again the mysterious swordsman that we've been seeing,
Which looks a lot like the first demon.
and yeah, that's kind of where it ends, and we get the opening.
And the opening is fucking a banger. I'm listening and watching it right now. It's so good.
Yeah,
It's probably my favorite of the whole season.
It's my favorite too, because it gives it not only the visuals, or not only the music, but the visuals too. Like, we're getting little just tidbits of what we can expect. It looks emotional. It looks fucking badass. It looks crazy. Also, too, I don't know if anybody noticed this, but you can always tell when a Hashira is gonna die, because so in season 2 with Mugen Train, Rengoku was facing away from Tanjiro in the opening. So whenever they do that little like they're gonna, when they show the title and they both move, they're both facing opposite directions. Then in the second part of season 2 with Azui, they face the same direction. And then in this season, Muichiro and Kanroji and Tanjiro are all facing the same direction. So you can kind of make a guess. None of the Hashiras are gonna probably die.
Let's hope.
Let's hope. I know that's probably a far-fetched theory, but
Yeah, that kind of is reaching because it's only been one.
It's only been one, but I mean, he dies, and it's so obvious. Like, I don't know. That's my thing.
Yeah, I fucking love this episode. Fucking banger first episode coming back. I wish it could have gone on for another 40 something minutes, because wow, I just want more really, really badly.
Do we know how long it is? Is it 2 cores, or is it just we're going to get in and out in 12 episodes again?
If I had to guess, it's probably another 12 episodes.
I mean, it makes sense with how much money they're probably pushing into these episodes.
I don't mind. I fucking love it. Yeah. Sorry if I, obviously with this, you can't really give a synopsis other than like the fact, because this is the first episode of a 3rd season. So kind of just have to go into talking about the episode, in my opinion, in kind of its entirety for me anyway, because I fucking loved it.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. Like, I definitely, I mean, if you're not on the Demon Slayer train at this point, I don't know what you're doing. Like, especially if I can't understand. I mean, I just feel like Demon Slayer has a little something for everybody. Like, even if you're kind of just into anime, like, I feel like you can get into Demon Slayer. But even if you're like a huge anime like lifer, I can't understand at this point not being interested in Demon Slayer. I mean, it's just, and the animation is just like on a whole other level, like the likes of which have never been seen. Like, honestly. Yeah. And I like I said earlier, I think they're going to pull out something bananas this season.
I also, like, my final thoughts too of like, I didn't expect to get into Demon Slayer. Like, I thought, like, okay, it's in the backlog. I hear it's really gorgeous. Like, I gotta watch it.
Keep in mind, we told Wenzel for years to watch it.
Watch it. Yeah.
Yes.
Told a long time. And then I finally watched it, and now I'm probably Demon Slayer is so fucking big to me. I'm just like, holy, like it is easily one of my favorite animes, and like it's one of those where like I would love to read the manga, but I want to watch the anime too. Like it's so tough, but I think I can keep myself back enough just strictly watch the anime. But like it has so much intrigue, and its characters and their character development, the philosophies, and like the breathing techniques and their powers. It's just also it's so fucking fascinating. I didn't expect to love it, but it's like one of my favorites. It's so good. Watch it.
Yeah, it's currently my favorite ongoing anime. It has been since season 2. And man, since season 1 pretty much. It's just too good to like pass up. And even if you didn't like the first 2 episodes, sit with it. Please give it a bigger chance.
Yep. I told them, but after seeing the upper moons, I was like, I have to get statues of all the upper moons because I have a Kaza right now. I need to get Gyotaro, I need to get Daki, and I need to get the rest. I need them.
Also, if you like the anime, I've heard nothing but don't read the manga. If you read the manga, read it after you watch the anime, which will probably be a few more years when that's over, because the animation is so good. And also, if you know the story beats, it's not going to be that impressive when it happens, when it gets animated, if you already know about it. And it's just watch the anime.
I mean, I guess, but you could say that about anything, knowing the story beats and stuff.
I know, but I'm saying is that the anime is better in every single way. And that's very rare. Even Cody, he's read the manga and he said, "Don't read the manga, just watch the anime because it's a way better experience."
I will say from people I know that have read the manga, they said they wish they could have experienced the story for the first time through the anime. Just because the animation is so next level, there's no way to convey that on black and white paper.
Well, there you go, folks.
So
watch the anime. Watch it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a show. I would honestly maybe like if we did a season 3 wrap up for Demon Slayer. I don't want to put anything on anybody's schedule, but I think we're all going to watch it, and that will be something we will be interested in. Stay tuned.
I'm tuned.
Nobody's saying no.
Man, this is a time I wish I could use the soundboard.
Also, the opening is done by Man with a Mission. Man with a Mission.
Yes.
Fucking
dude,
banger fucking
so
music.
Freaking good.
People that dislike Man with a Mission, kill yourself. Sorry, that was far.
What the fuck? Okay. Anyway, yeah, so now we're getting on to probably the longest, I mean, really though, the longest episode here for a series. It's the first, it's the prologue, it's Oshinoko, Mother and Children.
So this is a full feature length. This is an hour and 25 minutes. So obviously we're not about to sit here and go frame by frame with it with you.
No, we don't have to. It's the first episode of a series.
It's a movie, essentially.
Yes,
it's the prologue.
Yes, it is the prologue of a series. It acts as a movie. It actually debuted here in the West at Anime Expo in a live theater.
And I just want to tell you real quick, it's currently sitting as the #1 rated anime of all time on my anime list.
Yep.
At 51,000 user ratings. I'm one of them.
I got that not notification, but I saw that pop up, like that article, whatever somebody said of like, holy shit, like this is #1.
To give you an idea of what the top anime are on my anime list, Full Metal Alchemist is #2, Shingeki no Kyojin, final season, the last episode that just came out, beginning of this year. Steins Gate, the newest Bleach season, Gintama, and then a bunch of fucking Attack on Titan. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I
Keep
know
in
on
mind,
my anime
only-
list is a lot of Attack on Titan.
Keep in mind, it's only one episode. So
Also, should say this is also on Letterboxd, currently sitting at a 4.1 average. Not to say that you should take these aggregate sites as like face value, but what we're saying is everybody's fucking loving Oshinoko.
Oh yeah.
and let's just say these three lads right here,
Love it.
Loved it.
we like it.
I
think
thought
they're-
Wenzel was going to say it.
No, we love it.
No, it is. Oh my god, it is so. Can I do the little bit of synopsis?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So the show starts in a weird way that I'm like, okay, not some weird stuff is happening. So the show takes place. We open. We're in this little countryside, and we have a doctor who we come to find out is a gynecologist who is very into idol culture and idols in Japan. And we're like, that's weird. Well, it turns out that he had a patient that had some form of cancer when she was a child, like she was like 12.
Yep.
And she's like, oh, I want to be an idol one day. And he's like, well, you can be an idol when you get better. She ends up dying. It's super sad, but that's why he's into idol culture. And he's really into this idol named I with AI. Not an AI, but her name is spelled AI. Well, so he, we get his little backstory, and then he goes to see his next patient. Well, it's I, and she's pregnant, which big no for idols.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That'll get your career ruined.
And she's also 20 weeks along.
Yeah, 20
Yeah.
weeks along. Also 16 years old.
Yep.
So we kind of get a little bit of a time jump. It's like, hey, you're pregnant with twins, and she's like, well, what do you think I should do for my career? And it's like, and he's like, well, as your doctor, blah blah blah. And she decides that she's going to have the kids, but have the children in secret so she can continue being an idol. So it fast forwards to her delivery date. The doctor and I are talking, and she's like, okay, just make sure you come back when I call you, to, give birth to these children, because our doctor agrees to birth the children, partly because he's such a huge fan of I and just wants to like be around her. But
yeah, he wants to
also
make sure these kids
because
are healthy and
yeah,
okay.
he wants the kids to be healthy and okay and everything. So he walks out. Well, this man in a hoodie says, are you Ai Oshino's doctor? And at this point, nobody knows that Ai is pregnant, or
she's here.
or
Yeah.
that she's even at that hospital, or that her last name is even Hoshino.
because this man specifically says, "Are you the doctor helping her to deliver her twins?"
Yes.
Like, well, how the fuck does this guy know that?
Yep. They're like,
It's
how
not made public
Mhm.
at all. Like the only people who would know are the doctor, I, and her guardian,
president.
which is the president of the company.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, the staff might know, but she's under a fake name too.
Yep. So the doctor's like, I have to ask you questions. Well, the guy gets scared, runs off. The doctor chases after him, and he's like, oh, you got me on this weird trail. Well, then he gets pushed off the side of a cliff. He fucking dies. And you're like, oh man, that's crazy.
It's brutal too because
Yeah, he's just sitting there with a large amount of blood coming out of his head.
because
out of
he hit,
his-
so he hit the back of his head, and that's where
Mhm.
your occipital lobe is. So the entire time he's still conscious, he's talking, but he can't see because
He can't
you-
see and he can't move.
because he got hit just right to where he can't see and he can't move as I is calling him because she's
Mhm.
giving birth.
Yep.
It's-
And
Oof.
I think because this is almost where it lost me. I think this is going to lose some people.
This
The
is
doc-
actually when I was like, okay, now this is more than what I thought it would be.
See, this is when I was like,
interested in seeing
oh
what's
my god. Well,
happening.
let me say what happens first, and then I'll talk.
Yeah,
about
go ahead and say.
it. The doctor is one of the babies.
Yep.
So keep in mind too, there's a point too where the girl that he was treating with cancer was like, wouldn't you want to be reincarnated as an idol's kid? And that's where it plays into like, well, shit, he just got reincarnated as this idol's kid, even though like he's explicitly said like, no, I wouldn't want to do that. What? That's weird. Also too, he's like, one of the nurses like, so if a 16-year-old idol came up to you and asked you to marry her, you wouldn't do it. And then he just doesn't answer the question. He's like, well, let's go do something else. Like, so he's kind of iffy. But if you keep watching it though, you kind of, okay. It's like, okay, like this guy is not as, no, it's tough. Because it's fucking weird. But
at this point in the show, I'm like, oh my God, Colt and Wenzel have been hyping up a fucking isekai.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with isekais. I'm okay. I like
it's
multiple isekais. This is not an isekai.
It's not an isekai because he's still in the same universe and world. It's just that he's now reincarnated as an idol's baby.
Yes.
Now keep in mind she had twins, so he has a sibling. But yeah, it's definitely kind of, because I remember there was what was that one isekai that we covered where literally it was a guy got reincarnated as a fucking baby in a magical world.
Mushoku Tensei.
Yeah, that one. Now that one, for most of the episodes, that main character boy fucking sucks. Immediately with this guy, he's it's weird to say, but he kind of is like not on the same level.
He's not pervy. He's not like pervy. More respectful.
He's more respectful. Like now, because it's like, of course, their laws and culture there are different. Like if, because he mentions, if a girl's 16, like there's talk of marriage and all that weird shit. But for the most part, whenever like there's a point in there where he's the baby and he's like, what the fuck? And then she like, do you need to be breastfed? And he's like, no. Like he's like as a baby, he's like, no. And then he goes to drink milk out of a bottle. Like that's not bad. Like
we should also say, I names the twins. So our doctor is named Aquamarine.
Badass.
He goes by Aqua for short, and his sister's name is Ruby. We should also mention, before continuing, Ruby is also a reincarnated person.
Yeah, yes. And it's so funny
and also sad.
It is sad because we come to find out that Ruby is the reincarnation of the 12-year-old that died of cancer that got the doctor to end up becoming a fan of idols in the first place. But in the first episode, neither of them know this.
Yeah,
they just both know that they're both reincarnated people, but neither of them know that
each other is who they are.
That has not been discovered. That has not been said.
Now it's kind of a sweet fated reunion too, because this was this girl's kind of dream. So you can't really ask for her anyway for a better afterlife. Yeah.
And I see it as like a god's putting them in this situation for a reason.
Yeah, because obviously reincarnation in itself is a very supernatural and religious belief. This is very much God's beings playing into a certain narrative for the sake of these two characters to do something, which is we'll we find out something's later, something's happen, and you kind of get the idea of why. But yeah, also should mention too, the idol and the kids, they it's really cool. Ai's eyes are really cool because there's like stars, and then the kids, Aqua has a star in his right eye, and then Ruby has a star in her left eye. It's really pretty eye design.
Two parts of their mother.
Yeah. I also like, because Ai's main color is purple, one of the kids is a red color and the other kid is a blue color. I enjoyed that. I was like, there we go. Color.
Yeah. And And from, again, this is the prologue, so from then on, it's just, well, I guess you can go into explaining the rest, Tanner.
Yeah, it is the prologue, so we get some time jumps here, like has the kid, she's 16, she's like, what am I going to do? She jumps back into Idol world, and everybody's like, oh, that's weird, and even the TV execs at like her first show back are like, oh, this is so weird, but she just has like this infectious energy. So then it fast forwards to, where she's 17, 18, 19, 20. And the kids, it's funny too, because the president's wife ends up watching the kids because, again, nobody knows that I has these kids. So they have to act like they're the president's and the president's wife's. Well, the president's wife is like, oh, I'm going to take all these pictures. I'm going to leak out that I had these twins. I want to make a ton of money and leave this loser and marry a hot guy. And the twin Aqua and Ruby are like, we got to do something. So they get in like this fucking pose, and they're like, we're gods.
We're Amaterasu, and this is just a guy, but he's a god.
Yeah.
They're like, we're gods. The god of entertainment has sent I to Earth. Because we also, before we even learned that Ruby was the 12-year-old, we learned that Ruby in her past life was a huge fan of I as well. So they're like, I was sent by the god of entertainment to entertain everybody on Earth, and if you impede on his mission, you will perish. And she's like, okay, I'll do anything. And they were like, and if you succeed, you will get to marry a hot actor husband. So she gets like super happy and super okay to do that. And so that's how the kids are like, okay, now we can go outside because she'll take us out. Also, they're like 6 months old, and they're like talking and shit because they still have their adult minds, but they can already verbally communicate and walk.
Yeah, because since they have their adult minds, they can control, their bodies, and they're conscious and aware. There's a really funny moment too where Aqua, when he figures out that the girl is also a reincarnated person, because he wakes up because he hears her mumbling, and he finds her in a room alone reading message boards about people talking about and she's messaging people saying, die, 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 die.
Yeah, kill yourself.
Yeah,
And
she's literally like Aqua even says, oh, so she's like just a huge troll and is like in these flame wars with all these fucking idol otakus.
And then whenever Aqua's like, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And then Ruby's like, oh my god, it's a baby that can talk as she's talking. Like, bitch. It's so funny. It's so good. And then the moment too with them tricking the manager lady was just fun as well, because oh god, there was a moment where Aqua and Ruby, they're like, what should we do? Should we kill her? And Aqua's like, maybe. And then Ruby's like, I was just kidding.
Yeah, Ruby's like, we can't kill her, we're babies.
Like, that's not possible. And Aqua was like actually thinking like about how to do it, because he was like, well, she kind of has a size advantage over us. Like, we can't do that. But then also too, the manager kind of grows on us too, because she comes accustomed to them as well, since she helps raise them. She basically raises them during the day, or takes care of them during the day, while does her stuff, and then at night and in the morning, that's when is the one raising them and taking care of them. So it's kind of a split there. It's really
like a second mother.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
Yeah, very much a nanny situation.
Yeah.
So like through the time skips, we see wanting to, because gets a paycheck after getting back from to be an idol, and it's like 200,000 yen for the month, which is not like a ton of money, especially if you're raising two kids.
That's $2,000.
Well, in today's exchange rate, actually like 1,600.
Yeah, you're right.
For the month. And she's like, oh, if it was just me, this would be okay, but I can't raise these two and put them in good schools and get their dancing lessons and their music lessons and all that. With that, so she's like, I have to make myself a better life for my two kids. So she starts branching out, and this is when we start getting the time skips. And it's like we see her in her first little TV drama spot. And it's funny because Aqua runs into the director, and the director's like, you know a lot of big words for a child, for a baby. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, here's my card. Call me if you ever need me.
Does he call him precocious baby?
Yeah, it keeps calling him precocious baby.
And also too, whenever stuff happens, he's like, "Damn, it's a sign of the times, I guess."
Yeah, and they're like, "How'd you learn all those words?" YouTube. He's like, "Man, that YouTube must be a sign of the times." It's really funny. At first, I thought it was the director that had killed the doctor.
I did too.
They look so similar. I
Because
thought
they
the
look
same
so
thing.
similar. I'm like, oh man, but then they made him funny. I was like, well, hopefully it wasn't him. So we get that, and I actually gets her first big part in a movie because of Aqua calling the director and being like, okay, I'll put I in this movie if you also agree to do it, because I's part in this TV show got cut because the main actress's talent agency was like, hey, she's too
good.
cute. And she's taken the cuteness away from our star that we specifically market as cute with good acting chops.
Yeah.
And Aqua's like, that's so unfair. So they do that. Well, this movie ends up winning like Best Director awards, and it really skyrockets I's like solo career.
Yep.
And like she starts doing all these like reality shows and more movies and
radio shows and
radio
podcasts
shows and all that. Not podcasts don't make money, Wenzel. Jesus.
Sorry, my bad.
I does her version of Call Her Daddy. She signs a $60 million deal with Spotify. No. And we get to the point where they're all celebrating. They move into a new apartment, and I's like, oh, we made it. And she's about to do a show at the Tokyo Dome, which is like obviously a huge deal. At Tokyo Dome, like this huge legendary venue in Japan. It's fucking gigantic. It holds like 70,000 people.
Yeah, this prologue, like there's like basically like kind of goals. So first goal, having the kids. Second goal, kind of become getting up more into like entertainment and making money. And the third goal now is to like do a dome show, which is like big, So that's where we're at now. And she's 20 at this point.
Yeah. And so she signed on for the Dome show. Well, it shows a little bit of a flashback of Aqua and Ruby talking about their dad, because they don't know who their dad is. And I was like, you know what? I should bring their dad around.
She literally says too, I want to shut that down real quick. Like,
because
ow.
Ruby implies that I is still a virgin and she had virgin conception to have herself an Aqua. And she's like, and I's like, yeah, we got to shut that shit down.
And then I is even like in a phone booth calling the father, who we never see, we never hear, but she's trying to set up basically like a meeting of like, hey, you need to come see your kids.
Mm-hmm. And she goes, this is our new address. Well, we get to the day of the Dome show, knock at the door. I opens the door. There's a guy in a hoodie holding flowers. Shank. Stabs I right in the fucking abdomen.
God damn. I've been thinking about this whole fucking scene while you've been going over it, and I've just been like,
I've been
trying
dreading
to hold back tears.
Because it is so heartbreaking. Because it's the same stalker that killed the doctor. It's been years, 4 years. Like, Jesus, dude.
And he's just mad. He kills her because he thought she betrayed him because she had babies.
Yeah, he's an overly obsessed, fucking stupid ass fan. He's like, you had kids. That's what are you like? Because the entire time too, there's like kind of this like, this theme of like of lies, of her lying. That's because that's what the idol industry is made up of, is lies.
Yeah,
lies.
They specifically call them pretty lies.
Yeah. But also too, like in a way too, like there's kind of this like, well, maybe eventually the lies will turn into a truth, and that's also a very like not a philosophy, but a thought of like, well, eventually, that can happen, and part of that lie, for in this case, is love and telling your fans that you love them and blah 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 blah. And it was kind of like that, like him saying like, yo, you lied to us this entire time, you didn't really love us, but then come to find out, like she's like, she remembers his name, she remembers him meeting at all the fan meets, the gifts he gave her and everything.
Mm-hmm. And one of the gifts we actually see in the background for multiple shots.
Yep. And the kids are playing with it, like looking at it. She's showing them the gift, saying like who this is from and blah blah blah. Oh my god. And the thing is too, is Aqua is directly behind her. So he witnessed this. Ruby is in the room with the closed door, and it's just this horrible, terribly sad moment where
it's because throughout the entire parenting of her kids, she's been afraid to say I love you because she doesn't want it to be fake. She doesn't want to lie to her kids because she's scared if she finally says it, she won't mean it.
It won't mean it. And like that's a very fair like thing that you hear about parents is like them being very cautious or careful to say like they love you to their children, or even people to say that they love you to somebody else because they're afraid, it won't have any effect, or it won't mean anything.
And we also have to remember, is a child herself.
Well,
yeah,
like when she has the kid.
Oh,
Well, when she has the
yeah,
kids.
She had the kids. Yeah. So, and when she was brought in too in the idol industry, she was an orphan. She never really met her parents either because her mom got arrested. So she spent most of her life in an orphanage. And so she never really got to experience like how to love, how to be loved, or anything like that. So that's also why she was very cautious about being an idol, about telling her kids she loves them. We get all these flashbacks while she's dying, basically.
Yeah.
And the stalker man gets so overwhelmed, he just fucking runs away because he's like,
he realized that he made a fucking massive
he's wrong. He's a killer. He's a murderer. He's a terrible, awful fucking human being, and I hope he goes to hell. I'm kind of invested. Okay. Anyway, so she's dying, bleeding out. It's so gut wrenching. Aqua is sitting there holding her, and she's telling, oh my God, it's so fucking sad. Telling them
and
her
Ruby's on the other side of the door screaming like, "What's happening?
What's
happening to
happening?
Mama? What's going on?"
And they're trying to keep, I is purposely lying on the door to make sure she doesn't open it to see that her mother's dying, but so that she can also hear her. And she's just telling them, like what she envisions the future for them. And finally she tells them she loves them. And
she's
true.
super happy because it's true. Yeah.
And then she dies. And when she dies, the star in the sky that we kind of see images of is gone, and the light in her eyes is gone.
The still shot and because it goes completely silent, the show goes completely silent, and they show a still shot of her sitting like dead body. It is, it's the style it's drawn in. It is one of the more disturbing things I've ever seen in animation.
Yeah, this show throws you for a loop for what you were expecting.
Yeah,
the last little bit of the show from this, and we'll get to in a second, I think the rest of the series is going to be a lot darker than people realize. Well,
it's going to be.
They probably realize it now, but it's going to be a lot darker.
Because until this point, you kind of it kind of has the feel of like a slice of life comedy. Until the last 10 minutes. And like I said, the imagery of her dead body, lightless, starless eyes, but she has a smile on her face. And it's like, the way it is drawn is, at least to me, was so disturbing. Like, I was sitting here, like, my mouth wide open. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like Jonathan Joestar dying in part 1 where he's holding Dio's head.
Okay.
It's a very stylistic, like, pause in time.
And the show is completely silent. There is no background because it even shows Ruby screaming, but we can't hear her screams.
Yeah, and I mean, same thing with Aqua. He's just shocked, like in utter despair, terror. It's so sad. Yeah, and like they said too, like, and from this point on, the show takes like a 180 where it's like I did not expect it to go where it's about to go, and I'm invested.
So essentially what happens is like I getting killed is huge news, but it's only huge news until the first snow of the season. And then Aqua's like, it's like the snow covered up I's death. That I was murdered. He was like, it's only 3 days later.
Yeah.
And the person who murdered her killed
himself.
Yeah.
But there was a tidbit where they said the police were like, it's so weird that this guy was able to do this, but we feel like there might be another suspect, but we don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll get to that in a second, but it's definitely your way of being like, not all this show seems to be. And then we get to Ai's funeral, and they do that, and then the president's wife offers to be. She's like, I know I can't replace your mom, but I think of you as my children.
It's so sad. And then, oh my god, because I was like, because again, like we start off with the manager being like, oh, I hate these kids, but then it's like she's like, I'm so sorry, like I can never be, like your mother. I can't replace your mom, but like, I think of you like my children, and I will take care of you. Would you want to be my children? And Ruby hugs her, and Aqua just sits there staring like he's dead inside, which he is, because he just witnessed his mom die.
Yeah. So we get to Ai's funeral, and they're sitting in the car, Ruby and Aqua, and Aqua's like, these kids are always on their phones. These fucking Twitter iPad babies.
Yep.
So Aqua's like scrolling and like is reading all this, and Ruby's like reading like all these mean comments, and Aqua's like, hold on. And he has like a flashback of seeing the guy that killed him. And then he remembers the guy that killed Ai. He's like, that was the same guy. He's like, so whoever it is has to be very close in Ai's social circle. But they're like, it can't be the president, because why would he sink his own company like that? They don't think it was anybody else in Ai's idol group, because he said none of them were that close. So Aqua comes to the conclusion that the other accomplice in Ai's and his murder is none other than their dad.
Yeah, because that entire whole process of Aqua being like how would this stalker know that she was at the hospital? How would he know that she's having kids? How would they know their new address
that they just moved into?
Like, who would have told him this? And you could probably make the assumption like, well, maybe it was the manager, but the manager,
it doesn't make sense.
It also just happened right after she told them the new address, the new address on the phone.
Yeah, so like it has to be the father, and that's where we see the light come back in Aqua's eye.
My favorite scene in the entire episode.
It's done in a different art style too, where the light isn't a bright light, it's a dark light. It's so cool. Where he
says, "I'm going to kill my dad.
I'm going to find my dad. And I'm going to kill him
with my own hands."
Yes,
he says.
And then we get another time skip.
We get a very big one.
Well, also Aqua asked the director if the director would help raise him.
Yeah, that was something else too.
Which I think is important, because Aqua also comes to the conclusion that his dad has to be in the entertainment industry. So Aqua has to continue to be in the entertainment industry to potentially find his father.
Yeah, so I'm assuming he's going to continue to be an actor while Ruby's going to be a dancer.
Yeah, Ruby's going to go the idol route.
And this in turn will probably attract their father to them, because they'll be successful and fame, so yeah. And again, the time jump happens. It looks like they're in high school, right?
Yeah.
It's their first day of high school, because I believe they're both 16. I think it's a 12-year time jump.
God,
it's a big one.
Crazy.
And it just shows them going off to school, and that's it.
Yep. And it does like a little montage where it's like, that's the end of the prologue, and like now the curtain is up on the prologue, and this is my revenge play in motion.
Yep.
And it's fucking cool.
I was like, that's a good written line.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I was saying, like, when it takes a 180, it's like, wow, we're going into like wow, okay. When we see our important characters, the girl that also he starred with in that movie, she's obviously in high school too with them. She's going to be an important character probably. Or one of the main cast anyway. But yeah, and then also too, I told them in the chat whenever I watched it, I was like, I think I hear an instrumental cover of "Lovely" by Billie Eilish. It sounds it for a very brief moment, but I thought I heard it. And then we get this really nice outro song. Thought it was really good.
Yeah, the
Could be an
outro
intro.
was good. I mean, this, in my eyes, this is a fucking masterpiece of
A first episode. To be fair, I will say this is my favorite first episode we've ever watched for any anime ever. But it
Yes.
does have an hour and a half to do that. So
yes. Like when Colt said in the chat,
it's
it
like
was
we
an-
watched a season 1. This was a season 1 that we just watched.
yeah, because I mean, an hour and a half is the length of 4 fucking anime episodes. To be fair, but even comparing it to like the first 4 episodes of a show, or even prologues of a show, like I sincerely think this is a masterpiece. I think this will be something that is talked about for decades. Like I think it is that good.
And the manga is still fucking ongoing. And this,
yeah, the manga is still going, so this
Ugh.
story has not concluded.
Oh wow.
So there is a ton of shit that they will be able to make, go through the anime adaptation of this.
there's 115 chapters out right now.
And Cole, I believe you said this first episode covers the whole first volume, though.
Yeah, it's a full first volume. I went through the first volume thinking like, okay, it's probably like first few chapters. No, the entire first volume is episode 1.
So I'm interested, but I mean, this is a masterpiece. Like it is truly, truly amazing. It reminds me of, by the end of it, I like my mindset is like erased. But
Yes. Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna like this more.
I don't
because
know. I have to see
I
more.
have no idea. I love
But
Erased.
just based on the first episode, and I loved Erased. I mean, we all loved Erased. I mean, yeah, this is a masterpiece. I think, I mean, obviously, yes, it is a first episode. You need to go in, and it has the pacing of like just anime episodes put together, sort of. But if you go into it and be like, okay, this is the Oshinoko prologue movie, I think that is the right mindset to go into it with.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're like, oh, a 90-minute episode of a show? God, that sounds awful. Because when Colt told me that, I'm like, oh my God, did we really pick an hour-and-a-half episode to do for the anime episode?
And I'm glad you did.
But I'm so fucking glad, yeah, that we chose this and watched it. Because I mean, just based off the first episode, this is going to be an anime of the year contender.
Yeah, I gotta watch this. Man, I just want to watch it all like right now.
Yeah,
God.
like I just want to know what happens. But like, I mean, the manga's still ongoing, so even
And the
if we,
thing is, like, as
we
soon as
wanted
the
to.
season is over, I'm reading the manga. Like, I'm gonna watch this anime as soon as it's over. I'm jumping on the internet and reading it.
And I should say this is done. The studio is Doga Kobo, which some of the recent shows they've done: RPG Real Estate, My Senpai is Annoying, Asteroid in Love, How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift. So I mean,
They did
I've never
Yuri
heard-
Yuri. That's another very fun comedy.
I've never heard of any of these.
yeah, they did Yuri. But like not like a huge like crazy nothing huge that just hops off the page. This will be
Yeah.
this will be that.
This is gonna be their big known series that they're
This is going to be a show people talk about for a long time. Like again, I mean, yeah, it being what'd you say, the highest rated anime ever on my anime list?
Yep.
I mean, there is some merit to that. Like, say what you will about these aggregator sites, there is some merit to that. There is some merit,
especially with 52,000 users rating it. It went up
Yes.
by a lot since I last said it, because it was 51,000.
like, and by the time you're listening to this, it's probably going to be. I mean, it will be higher. I mean, it's sitting at a 4.1 average on Letterboxd. I mean, people are really digging it. I think you'll be remiss if you do not watch this. And if you don't like the first episode,
I
probably
don't
not
think
for
you'll
you.
probably like it.
Yeah, probably won't like it. But this seems like this almost seems like an event with how I really think this show is going to get some legs in the West, where a show like this has never really gotten legs before.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to keep up with it.
Yep, same.
Oh yeah, for real.
Very pained. I'm gonna think about Ai's death and cry. Just every time I think about it.
Yep. Or I'm just gonna pretend like it didn't happen.
Yeah,
Yep.
I actually cut the show off 65 minutes in, where I and Ruby are dancing, and Ruby's getting over her fear of dancing.
Oh, fuck off.
And it was a nice little happy ending.
Yeah, nice
So-
happy ending.
Oh my
Dang.
god. I'm just remembering now too, whenever they're leaving to go to high school, they're like, bye mom, at a picture of her, and then at the very end there's a special credit scene where it's just I with her kids. It's their first birthday, and she's like, maybe one day we'll talk about this when we're older and having drinks.
Yep.
Why'd you do that?
Dude, I'm going to fucking throw up.
Why?
Yeah, it made me feel fucking terrible.
Man, I hope. Ooh, man, if I could just go into this anime and fucking beat the shit out of that stalker guy, I would do it. Oh, I'm so angry.
Well, the stalker guy's dead.
I know, but I just, ugh. I want to find him before he commits suicide and kill him.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
I'm going to find him in the afterlife and make sure he goes to hell.
Yeah. That's the anime. This is
that's
the
all
only
of
anime.
the anime.
Yeah, we had to save, obviously, the two longest things for the end. Just because they're
Yeah.
so long, we had so much to talk about. But
Yeah, and again, there will be. I mean, you're at the end of the episode. You know this already, but there will be timestamps. Do not fret. I will make sure I will go through and timestamp where the show discussions start.
Yeah. You know what? Top 3 right now. I'm gonna give you mine. Oshinoko number 1, Demon Slayer number 2, and Hell's Paradise number 3. Purely because the hype factor. And Heavenly Delusion had some weird stuff that I'm not sure about anymore. But Hell's Paradise is number 3.
I think. Oh man, Oshinoko's my 1. Demon Slayer's my 2. My 3 is a toss up between Hell's Paradise and Mashle. I think I'm going to give the edge to Mashle just because I enjoyed the first episode of Mashle more than I enjoyed the first episode of Hell's Paradise. Even though I understand that Hell's Paradise is going to get pretty sick pretty quickly. And Mashle may just keep up that quality, but I think I'd put Mashle at 3.
Yeah,
That's fair.
That's fair. For me, it's Demon Slayer number 1, Oshinoko coming at a close, very, very close at number 2, and then number 3 is Hell's Paradise, just because I've read it and I'm excited for it.
All right, this has to be our longest non-anime non-canon file ever.
Yeah, but it's because the 2 of the episodes were
2 of the episodes are so fucking long.
Yeah, I mean, one of the episodes was literally movie length. So
And I have theories.
yeah,
Wenzel
had to
has
get it.
theories, and
get in
you
theory
also
time.
have fucked up glasses issues.
Oh, yeah.
That's fucked up, Tanner.
Well, thanks everybody for listening. As always, you can leave us a like, a review, a subscription, a rating on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, on Spotify, on SoundCloud. You can follow us on Twitter at AYCH Podcast. Follow the extra feed, AYCH Xtra with an X, TRA, on SoundCloud, on Twitter. You can follow all the individual shows that also have that, such as the Backlog Boys. Backlog Boys with the Z Pod on Twitter. If you're listening to this the day or around the time of release, on April the 26th, Colt and I will be putting out our Hi-Fi Rush review, episode 4, even though it will be the 10th piece of audio on the Backlog Boys. Don't ask us why we decided to go with that numbering,
Because
but
we're badass.
we're
We
sticking
thought
with
it was
it.
funny.
It is
I
funny.
still think it's funny.
Yes.
But now it's gotten to a point where we're gonna have like 5 episodes, episode 3, something. But yeah. So stay tuned for that. AYCH still rolling along. We're getting close to do. If you're listening to this on release, this past Monday, we just released an episode talking about summer movies and our box office predictions for summer movies. So go check that out. And go check out our other episodes of April. We put out episode 300. We played Family Feud against those dirty fucking cheats at Cajun Greatness. Go check that out. We did a State of the Podcast for 301. Go check that out. May is going to be crazy. We're playing a bunch of games. The summer is going to be crazy. Got a lot of plans. Also got something really cool news at the day of recording this that you'll hear about later, but it's really cool. So trust me. You're going to want to be around. And you can follow me on Twitter at Tanner1495. Oh, also, follow All You Can Hear on Twitch, twitch.tv/allyoucanhear. Also follow the YouTube at AYCH Podcast. Just search All You Can Hear for all the Twitch VODs. But go to the Twitch, twitch.tv/allyoucanhear.
Because Tanner be streaming?
I be streaming.
Yep.
And soon, we be streaming.
Yes, sir.
And soon, they be streaming.
Yeah, Wenzel's
well, it's more so soon they be streaming, then it'll be soon we will be streaming.
Yeah.
Wenzel's not going to be
at the time of listening. At the time of release, Wenzel was out of the country. He's been banished.
Yep. He won't be allowed back in for a month.
Yeah, I'm going into exile to become a better fighter.
Yep.
Well, happens
when I return, I'll be able to
suck your own self.
Yeah. Free myself of the human inability to suck oneself off.
That's a beautiful thing. And
this is my story. Read it on Shonen Jump app.
Do your fucking plugs.
My name's Colt. Follow me on Twitter at ColtD00. If you follow me on Twitter, here's a broken promise. Your genitals will grow 7 times the size.
Oof.
Yeah, it's kind of like a negative thing.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to make that promise, but okay.
I said it's broken. There's nothing there.
Okay. Thank you for listening. I'm Wenzel. You can follow me on Twitter at WenzelWilkie. You can follow my art Instagram at World of Wenzy. And you can go follow my Bookstagram at Twinsel Banters. I talk about books. And soon I'll be talking about movies and music albums as well, because those are 3 things I fucking love, and I need to talk more about those. Also, too, again, I will be out of the country, so at the time of this release, my store, my commissions are closed. They won't be back open until May 25th, so I can't take any orders or commissions, but don't worry, they won't be closed forever, just for a certain time. Yeah, and I'll be on some episodes, and some episodes I won't be on because we're re-recording stuff, but again, that's all right. These guys got it handled. They're just as funny, I guess. Yeah, and my link tree, you can go follow my Goodreads and my Letterboxd and everything. All my socials are on there as well. Go check that out. And again, thank you so much. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for listening. Go watch anime.
Thanks for listening. Mwah. Give everybody a little smooch.
Meow.